Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and this is episode number 119 of the Corona Diaries. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. We have an absolutely hilarious show for you, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, I'll be calling up America's next door neighbor, Samuel T. Harter in the City of Angels. I'm going to be telling Sam about my trip down to New Orleans for pandemic Mardi Gras. Super weird. And I've got another crazy energy drink. This one has 300 milligrams of caffeine. And, breaking kayfabe here, I'm talking to you after the fact. I already recorded my conversation with Sam. That thing fucked me up for real. Like, I finished talking to Sam. My head was swimming, but I was also laser focused. It was quite a combo. I never wanted to be a psychonaut for douchey energy drinks, but hey, here I am, As Elvis said, love me. Love the life I lead, Daddy. Next up, I am once again taking the show on the road up to Avondale Park in Birmingham, Alabama, and talking to two of the funniest people I know, Nick Thomas and Narado Moore. In this segment, Nick, Rod, and I are running down what I assume has to be the last of the Capitol rioters to get arrested. God, I hope. But one of them is a dating coach, so that's bound to be funny. We have to talk about it. If you've listened to our show, you know Nick and Rod, and you know what's up, so I'm excited for you to hear that. Last up, as always, we'll land the plane back at Disgraceland Studios with the Crystal Pistol, Carter Glascock, our sweet baby boy, fresh off his featured appearance on the Super Bowl Sunday edition of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He got to do his Ray Liotta impression on national TV, and that's cool as shit. We're all super excited for him, and we're going to be talking all about that and so much more. Oh, and we got Jam of the Day, a little song called My Own Worst Enemy by the band Lit. Have you ever heard of it? Let's get this started now. Happy Mardi Gras, y'all. Laissez les bon temps rouler. The Goods from the Woods. Corona Diaries number 119 starts right now. Now from East Hollywood, California, it's America's next door neighbor, Sam Harter. What's up, dog?
Not too much, man. Just, getting my day started. It's 12:30, so, I've been up for an hour. Things are going good.
I just got back last night, went down to New Orleans, and my mom has a friend down there who's gotten both of his Moderna shots, so he's good to go. We've gotten one. We figured if we just hung out with him and didn't breathe on people, we'd be okay.
Didn't go to Mardi Gras.
Well, that's the thing, is Mardi Gras has been canceled. The whole reason we wanted to go is because in lieu of Mardi Gras, all the people in New Orleans have decorated their houses like floats, so you can just drive around in your car and see it, and you can probably drink and drive, knowing New Orleans. I don't know if that's true, but
that's legal year round.
Yeah, pretty much. But I gotta say, man, New Orleans bodegas unbeaten as far as energy drinks go. I managed to find
that's good to know, I guess.
I managed to find the most elusive flavor of Bang, called Purple Kittles.
All right, that sounds like something you would feed a dog, but
but I promised I would taste test that one with Justin Morales when I got back to California. So I bought two of those. We're gonna probably eat some Cracker Barrel and drink some Purple Kittles. But I also got, the flavor is called Apollo, and the company is called Raze Energy, RAZE. And, like all these things, I gets to Googling and stuff like that. And I found the company that makes Raze is called Rep Sports, and they're out of something called Longwood, Florida. And their most recent tweet, they do have a Twitter. Their most recent tweet is from August 14th of 2020. And it says, like Bob Dylan once wrote, "Times, they are changing. Don't mind me just going to max out at 135 on bench right quick because my fragile little quarantine body lost all its gains. Who else feels the same?" Retweet.
Well, did you?
No, I did not.
Do you know what raze means? R-A-Z-E?
Yeah, it means to like tear down, right? Like you raise a building.
Yeah, it means to like destroy a building or town or any sort of entity. So that's great that they're called that.
And that tweet, by the way, has just 2 retweets. So only 2 people felt the same.
The rest of everybody figured out how to lift without a gym.
Right. Well, and also I like that why did they need to bring Bob Dylan into this? Because,
I don't know. He must have done something back in August.
Maybe. I don't know. Just when there's so many jacked up rock stars, and Dylan is never comes to mind. He's such a petite man. But yeah, this can, it's patriotic. It's got the Statue of Liberty on there. And then the top is interesting because it's jet black. The top is black. The tab is black. Looks kind of
sounds pretty
imposing.
badass.
Yeah.
Sounds like some sort of chemical vial or something.
Yeah, and this actually has 300 milligrams of caffeine.
Holy fucking shit. That's like fucking 4 cups of coffee.
So we're upping the caffeine percentage once again by 100 milligrams. So the Alani News, which, like I said, those Alani News and the Rippets for that matter, they hit fucking hard, and those are 200. So this might be crazy here.
Take a big chug. I wanna know how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
First.
Well.
First and foremost, I wanna know how it flows through your veins.
Well, for this one, I've got an additional element, and that is I got a cup full of ice here, so I'm actually gonna pour it over ice.
No, you coward! Trying to water it down. I know your tricks.
No, I just wanted to see what color it is, for God's sakes. They do make a flavor called Baja Lime that I believe is supposed to be Baja Blast flavored, so I kind of want to try it.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me.
Oh, that's mega weird. It's, you know what it just immediately reminds me of is... it's got kind of the same aftertaste as like Gushers or Fruit by the Foot or something made out of gelatin.
Oh, that's bad.
Like that. So yeah. Oh, I mean, it's gonna get me jazzed. So that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, jacked enough to destroy a building or town, just like you need to when you're in the military.
0 sugar on this thing too. So.
That's good.
No
wonder they're losing their gains.
The other thing I wanted to mention on their website, they use a certain phrase that kind of freaks me out. It says, Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula. I was like, I don't know if the FDA likes giant leaps of faith when it comes to formulating your product that's meant to be consumed by humans.
You just gotta believe, Rivers. You just gotta believe.
It says, perfect for anyone at any time. Raise Energy has become the most popular and best rated energy drink on the market. And I'm like, I literally just heard of this yesterday. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what the fuck kind of claim is that? More popular than Red Bull? All right, Raise.
Yeah. It says they have a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most competitors to shame. I like that it says most, but not all, If you're going to make unverifiable claims, why not say that puts everyone to shame? It's like, yeah, I mean, we're pretty good. We're 99% there. We're not better than coconut Red Bull, but we're almost there. I like that a lot of the newer ones that I've been testing on here have somehow avoided having that medicine-y sort of aftertaste that something like Red Bull does have.
Well, it's good you're getting used to them because you're hooked now. That's all it means.
Yeah. But I get lots.
I'm looking up right now the most powerful energy drink. It seems like you need a Hyde Extreme with 400 milligrams.
Okay.
This is just from a quick Google search.
A listener to our show at Jade Nicole Bear sent basically just a picture of these that said crazy drinks with crazy names that you should try. And they are Rowdy Energy, Warheads flavored Ghost Energy. And they have something called C4, which I like, that it's, named after a destructive chemical compound. There's something called Zero by Ignite, and then my favorite, which I looked this up actually, and it's made by Bang, and I think it's supposed to be their pre-workout, but instead of just calling it Bang pre-workout, it's called No Fusion.
What?
The name is NOO Fusion. No
New?
Fusion. New.
That's got to be new, right?
Maybe it is new. Either way,
that's bad. Yeah.
Maybe
Nobody's trying to spell new different.
Well, on a la Ninu did they NU like new metal, but yeah, NOO just makes me think of Darth Vader going Fusion.
I feel like they can just do or say anything because they're just like anybody who's going to drink these does not care about how stupid the name or flavor is.
Oh, clearly. Yeah, I'm the only person that's
they're
ever
drinking it like a king cobra, you know?
Yeah.
They just want the stuff that's inside.
I am positive I'm the only person that's ever read the Rays website just now. You and me and the people listening to this show are the first humans that, besides the guy who wrote it, that have taken in the information from repsports.com.
The fucked up part is they carried it at that store probably because people in New Orleans buy them. To like make their own Four Loko or something.
Buddy, I passed by a store that had a gigantic sign of Rip It that was nailed to the wall outside.
Whoa, that's awesome.
And I was going too fast. I couldn't stop. I wanted to stop and get a picture with it, but I didn't have a chance. It was right on Canal Street, so there was a bunch of people behind me. It was a big, busy road, but next time, damn it.
Did you and your mom stop by a daiquiri drive-through place?
No, I didn't. Well, you know what happened is so Saturday night, I wanted to walk through the French Quarter because that's what I usually do, like down through Bourbon Street and all that. Because fuck it, I'm a tourist. Why not? And but
why not go to the worst smelling place in the city? That's what I want to do. I
mean, it's kind of fun to look at the freak show if definitely in non-COVID times especially. But I went down there thinking I was like I don't know, I'll just drive past and see if there's a shitload of people, I'm not going to go. And there were so many fucking people and no one, not a single mask anywhere. I was just like, oh, never mind, I'll just drive around. So
yeah, dude, did you forget you were in the South?
Yeah, well, but yeah, I drove past Saturday and it was, all the bars were open and shit, but because they're canceling Mardi Gras, all of the bars had to close at midnight on Super Bowl Sunday. So after the Super Bowl, I stayed up. I wanted to watch Carter on Colbert, the segment that he did. But that meant I had to sit through Queen Latifah's new hour-long drama called The Equalizer.
Oh, yeah. I kept seeing commercials for that. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean...
it's just like Shaft, right? Except with Queen Latifah?
Yeah, kind of. Well, have you seen those movies, the Denzel movies, the Equalizer movies?
No.
They're basically Denzel's version of Taken. Like, Liam Neeson was like, I'm in my 50s, I can be an action guy. And I think Denzel kind of made the same calculation. So it's similar. I mean, they're fun. Both of those Equalizer movies, they are absolutely a great thing to sit there and eat popcorn to. They're not offensive in any way. They are very violent. So it was funny that CBS is like, we're going to adapt this into an hour-long drama with Queen Latifah. So they couldn't really do as much gunplay and head smashing as Denzel does. So it wasn't nearly as fun as the movies, but it was whatever. It was completely inoffensive and fine. But basically she's like a former CIA person with a very special set of skills kind of a thing. Don't fuck with her family. That's sort of it, I think.
Isn't she like a vigilante? That was the idea I got from the commercial.
Yeah. She's like former CIA and now she's like a private eye or some shit, but I don't know. She's just going around and beating up dudes. It's, it was fine. But anyway, after I saw Carter's segment on Colbert, I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go out and see if Bourbon Street's okay to walk down. And I went, and it was 12:15, so 15 minutes after the bars had all closed. Fucking
Jesus.
Empty.
That's fight time, Rivers. No, that's where every guy who didn't get laid is trying to get in a fist fight.
Dude, it was so crazy. There was No one. I walked down all of Bourbon Street and I passed 3 people at 12:15 on Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, that makes sense, kind of. That's the sort of city where everybody would legitimately have parties and a bunch of people over. No offense to any Nolia fans who are listening, but a lot of people in your city are crazy. If you've never been to New Orleans, one of the craziest things is the drive-through daiquiri place. If you've never been to a state that you can serve drive-through alcohol, it's just they give you a styrofoam cup full of like a Slurpee with Everclear in it, and then they put a piece of Scotch tape over the lid so it's not an open container. And then you drive away and instantly pull that piece of tape off and start drinking in the car.
Man, I knew they had that place. I've never actually done that before, though. I always just end up doing the old walk down Bourbon Street, get the hand grenade out the window, and
yeah, I get that. Well, as a girl drink drunk like you are, you would love the daiquiri place.
Well, the hand grenade, I've talked about this in my stand up, but the hand grenade is the most deceptive quote unquote girl drink of all time because it is made of fucking Everclear. And so, and it tastes.
That's the trick of New Orleans.
It just tastes like a liquefied Jolly Rancher. So you don't realize how truly fucked up you're getting until it's way too late.
Yeah. And then you're like, I just consumed a bunch of corn liquor. Holy shit.
That's happened to me. Literally
I don't know up from down anymore.
This is the first time I've ever been to New Orleans where that didn't happen to me. It's just because it was closed. Like every time I've ever gone.
My first time, my first time in New Orleans, I passed out before I had a chance to go out the first night.
Oh my God. Yeah. Typically my move is because the Tropical Isle, the place that serves those hand grenades, has a location at the beginning of the street and at the end. So you get one at the beginning, you drink it while you walk, and then when you're finished, you get another one at the end and walk back the other way, and then by the time you get back to your hotel you can't see straight anymore. So
then it's just time to lay down and see if you can get fried food delivered or something.
Oh, buddy, speaking of which, holy shit, man, we gotta go specifically because I need to go back and get this sandwich. There's a place there called Verdi Mart. It's just a fucking, it's actually where I found the purple Kittles, the bangs. It's just a little little small market, but they have the best fucking sandwiches ever. And they got one called All That Jazz, which is it's like turkey and ham and Swiss cheese and grilled shrimp and like their special sauce. Like it's fucking ridiculous.
New Orleans has so many good places like that. The bodegas you're describing, where there's just like a little hole in the wall of one of the one of the sides of the store, and then they're serving the best food you've ever had out of it.
Yeah, man.
The first time I ever had a roast beef po' boy was at a place like that. And I was just like, why doesn't everybody know about these?
Yeah,
get the roast beef po' boy with gravy. Holy shit.
God, dude. Yeah, no, that place, everything about it takes a minute to catch up to you, but like your experiences with on the ground there with almost anything you consume, whether it's alcohol or food or anything, all of it has a fuse on it, like a delayed fuse where you're just like, oh yeah, this is fine, and then you're eating, and then all of a sudden you're just like, I have to lay down because I can't fucking walk because I ate too many sandwiches.
It makes me wonder what people who live there eat. Because there's no way you can eat out there and do anything afterwards.
I imagine it's just people who actually live there kind of maybe dread having friends in town because they're like, oh my God, now I have to eat 20 po' boys.
Dude, my friend was in town last week, COVID safe, by the way. And all it meant was I spent so much money on food that I shouldn't have.
Yeah. At least with LA, you can take them to the taco stand and maybe just get like 2 tacos and not go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the good part about it. But also when you're in LA, if you're my friend, you're going to start consuming weed at a level that is impossible to keep up with and not eat more than 2 tacos.
Oh, man.
But it's cool. God. If you're my friend and you come to LA, I'll have you pass out off weed in a couple hours. I guarantee.
Hell yeah. The place I found this Apollo, by the way, was another badass little bodega that called Hank's that has insanely good fried chicken that this woman just is in the back, and she always just is sitting. This is the second time I've been there. I went there about a year ago when I was down there doing stand up for the first time, and both times she's just kind of sitting on a stool with her arms crossed, just sort of glaring at you when you walk up, and you're like can I get a 2-piece with some fries? And she's like, yes, and then she just makes it, and it's the best fucking chicken ever. So,
damn, I want that.
Love it, dude.
I want that. And dude, I went to the store the other day here, which not a bodega, just a shitty gas station near our house. The Mobile. And there was just a guy smoking a cigarette inside the store.
Oh, I know that guy. I used to go pick up ice there for when I had tours, because we'd bring a cooler with water and stuff. And so I'd always go there to buy a bag of ice. And the guy was like an older like Armenian guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's I guess supposed to be the security or what. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing, but he just stands near the entrance and sort of blows the smoke out the door.
Yep. Yeah, man.
That was my first time seeing it. And of course he doesn't. He's wearing a mask like hanging down off of his ear like he gives a fuck. It's like, dude, you're smoking inside. I haven't seen this in forever.
Man, I kind of like, I've said before, my guiding philosophy is just never let him see you get mad, just fucking be cool and shit. And I had to stop and get gas on the way back from New Orleans somewhere in Mississippi. And there was no kind of like shield between the guy and me, like working at the gas station. There was nothing. And he just had no fucking mask on. And when I walked in, he was actively hacking up a lung.
Oh, fucking Christ.
So
you could have just ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that was the thing. It was the middle. It was truly like, there was like, we had driven over a bridge with a swamp for like, 15 minutes. So it was in the middle of a swamp. It was our one option. And so I just grabbed like a bottle of water and wanted to like pay for the gas. So I kind of like was standing pretty far back, considering the circumstances. And the guy was just like, I don't bite, man. You can come closer. And I just like didn't say anything. I just was like trying to like stretch out and like offer him my card. I'm like, for the love of God. And he kept saying it. He was just like, I don't bite, man. You can come closer.
You should have just like wadded up a 20 and threw it at him.
Dude, it was one of those situations where I was like, man, I wish I had, money to waste like that. Cause I would have just been like, here, just keep it by, but
I would have just been like, dude, 20 on 3. Don't touch me. I don't need a receipt.
Yeah. It was just so funny because he was just like, what? What's wrong?
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's hard to fathom here because 1 in 5 people has it or something. So it's like crazy to go to the store and somebody's smoking a cigarette, or in the smoke shop near here, people never wear a mask and shit like that. It's just like, holy fuck. I more understand it if you work in a swamp gas station, but still, you don't know who's coming through that place.
I know what you meant when you said swamp gas station, but I think it's funny that it's a station that sells swamp gas, which is how they explain UFOs and shit. It's like, oh, it was moonlight hitting off swamp gas. This is sort of related. This story here was actually sent in to us by our friend Ben in Austin. It's from Minneapolis, and this is related for sure. Investigators say the co-owner of a bar, fined for not following COVID rules, slapped a fast food worker for enforcing the rules.
Wow. It's like he's crazy or something.
39-year-old Ricardo Baldazzo is part owner of a brewery in Lakeville, Minnesota called Alibi Drinkery. First of all, what a fucking loser.
This is where you say you were for when you cheat on your wife. You're at Alibi.
So the place that he owns has been cited several times for opening despite state restrictions. Investigators say Baldazzo and a woman were at the Jimmy John's in Rosemont, Minnesota last week. The woman walked in without a mask and argued with the manager, who asked her to wear one. Court documents say that's when Baldazzo came in and struck the manager. Police say they recognize Baldazzo from past encounters. So
damn.
I guess the guy just left and they called the cops and they looked at the security video. They're like, oh yeah, that's that psycho that owns Alibi Drinkery.
Yeah, that's a guy who comes in here very often. he's pretty much a regular.
Baldazzo was...
Jimmy John's is also not that good.
No, well, and
it's not assault somebody good.
No, God, definitely not. I'm not going to jail over a Slim 5. It's ridiculous. Baldazzo was charged with 5th degree assault, which, how many degrees of assault are there? Why is you either hit him because you were planning on it or you were hit him because you weren't? Let's see.
That's funny how many degrees there are in that state. They're like, how bad did you hit him? Because you can hit him a little bit, that's 7th degree.
Yeah, it's Minnesota. So 1st degree assault, it has to involve an axe, like a Paul Bunyan situation or a wood chipper like Fargo. He was charged with 5th degree assault, which Dakota County authorities say is a violation of Baldazzo's probation in a prior attempted murder case.
What the fuck?
So this guy was on probation for attempted murder, and he's hitting sandwich artists. So,
Jesus Christ! What the? That's like a villain movie. Psycho, attempted murder, bar owner.
Yeah,
it's called Alibi. Maybe he used that as his alibi for when he murdered somebody.
Ooh, yeah, it's like Dave's Killer Bread. Like he's like kind of owning his past a little bit.
That'll make people like you.
So I found the Facebook post of the woman that he was with at the Jimmy John's because she took to Facebook and wrote about what happened to Baldazzo. She says, quote, I walked into Jimmy John's to order food. I was asked if I had a mask. I informed the man, 19 years old, not a child, as some people think it was, that I have a health condition that makes me unable to wear a mask. I was told to leave. I informed him it was against my constitutional right to refuse me service as a basic human need such as food. That's in all caps. He told me to leave and started swearing at me. At 19 years old, he is old enough to serve. Old enough to know you do not speak to a woman that way over a mask. His parents should have raised him better. So she never...
hopeless woman all of a sudden can't be cursed at.
Yeah. Yeah. It never says that he didn't hit the guy. That's the best part, is she's just like, oh, he did it, but it was to
he
defend...
was very rude. Defend my honor?
Yeah.
Hello? I am a woman. I can't do anything like that.
So anyway, that's what's happening in Minnesota with this crazy shit. So
did you hear what happened in Pasadena?
No, what's new in the other Dina?
We had a maskless man in Pasadena enter a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and they told him to put on a mask or leave, and he got in an argument with them, and then came back with a gun and robbed them only of food. He only got chicken and waffles, and then he left.
Wow!
People get angry over food. These people are hangry.
That's the Snickers ad right there. That's it.
robbing a convenience store of a Snickers.
It makes you feel better.
But yeah, that's what's going on with people with no masks around here.
Jesus,
just robberies with a weapon.
Yeah, man. I mean, I hate to make any sort of sweeping general statement, but it was weird going from the middle of nowhere in Mississippi where it was just fucking nobody, not a goddamn person anywhere we stopped. And we stopped once to get gas and then like a little bit further up the road to use the bathroom and stuff like that. And I didn't see one single person except for, one lady who was working in one of the gas stations, and that was it. And then we get back to Auburn and everywhere you go, pretty much, like I said the first time we talked about this, there's just usually one guy, the most special boy in Alabama, in every fucking store. But other than that, everybody's pretty much being good. So I don't know. That's good.
That's good to hear, at least.
Yeah. By the way, I found this one. This is. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I think we got it.
Yeah, of course. I'm America's next door neighbor.
That's
you
right.
Think I don't watch the Super Bowl.
It was so. I mean, this point has been made, but boy, what a boring fucking game. Jesus.
Yeah, the Super Bowl's usually like that. Usually the NFC and AFC championship games are far more exciting, which they were this year also.
Right. It was just It was pretty shocking to see how many people that they managed to pack into that stadium, though. I will say that.
Dude, it was just 25,000. A very small number of people. They had more cardboard cutouts than people, so it was fun.
Yeah. This is a story from Fort Lauderdale that regards the Super Bowl. Some people in South Florida had to get creative to watch the Super Bowl Sunday when a neighborhood suddenly lost power, and it seems that this may have been intentional. About 30 to 40 minutes before the Super Bowl started, it just went out, Bubba James told Local 10 News. James was one of several Fort Lauderdale residents who was forced to find another way to watch the big game after losing power. And they didn't even bury this lead. Like I normally, when I, write these copies to read on the air, I will bury the lead sometimes because it's the funny part. Mm-hmm. But in this case, this is how this is actually written. Like we're like 3/4 through the article before they tell you this. But it's how the power outage took place that has some neighbors scratching their heads. A Local 10 viewer sent us a photo and cell phone video showing a man who they say randomly started operating an excavator that was parked on the street for another project. At one point, they say the stranger knocked the machine into the power lines along Northwest 13th Street before eventually hopping out and riding away on a bicycle.
You know what? The thing is, if you've ever seen one of those just parked on the street, you've thought about what would happen if you just used it.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, we used to just get in them. I mean, I never would have the balls to try to start one, but we would definitely, pretend we were driving the bulldozer and shit. But this guy, it sounds like, was just like, fuck your Super Bowl, and just drove a fucking backhoe into a power line.
I like to imagine he was just like, I want to see what working on the electrical lines is like.
Also, this is like for sure how people die, right? It's backing those things into power lines and electrocuting themselves.
I'm shocked that's not how the story went, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I've seen a downed power line before, and it was one of the most crazy things I've ever seen, but...
Was it like sparking and like snaking around and shit?
Dude, yeah. And it was during the rain too, and it landed right next to somebody's car, and there's just like an orb of electricity going around this dude's truck. Whoa. And then melted it and shit. It was tight.
Where was this, in LA or in Austin?
It was down the street from my house in Austin when I was a kid.
Dude, that's amazing.
It was crazy looking. Yeah, it was like something you see in like a fucking video game or movie or something. It was cool.
Witnesses say police were called, but so far officers have yet to confirm the details as to what happened. And then this is, for some reason, they found a kid and asked him for his opinion. It says, quote, "I'm mad because I can't watch no Super Bowl," one kid said. They didn't even give him a name.
Maybe he was looking forward to the weekend. I don't know. The thing is, how did they say how they ended up watching it?
No, that's this is the weirdest article.
They got creative, but I don't know. They did some. They probably watched it on their cell phone.
Yeah. So the first guy that they quoted said the power was back on by the second half of the game, and then the article ends by just saying, "Go Brady," he said.
Fuck it, you got to root for the home team.
That's a weird story for sure, but did you see the shit about the water plant in Tampa?
No.
Dude, fucking some guy hacked into the system at the water plant and started increasing the amount of sodium hydroxide, which is lye, going into the water. Like,
whoa, that doesn't seem safe.
It's so fucking scary, dude. Like the operator is sitting there and he said that the cursor on his mouse just started moving across the screen and then like immediately went and jacked up the level of lye in the water by like 100 times what it normally would be. And he stopped it before it actually happened. But like, if that dude hadn't just been sitting there, it would have poisoned Tampa.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude. It was weird that I found those stories like back to back where it was like, okay, well, one guy's trying to shut off the Super Bowl in one neighborhood, and meanwhile some other guy in Tampa is trying to kill the whole city. So yeah.
Yeah.
Super Bowl
shit, dude.
Super Bowl
That's
victory.
probably some like 14-year-old kid too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was just like, look what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Because they probably made the password for the water plant water or password.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah. Go Brady is the password. Or what did that kid say? I can't watch no Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's just Super Bowl. They have to change it constantly. And this week it was Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so we should mention that halftime show because you and I, we did a whole episode about Super Bowl halftime shows this time last year.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So how do you think this one stacked up to years past? Because I kind of liked it, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I mean, they couldn't do the traditional have a bunch of people on the field and a stage in the middle, which actually I think worked good.
Yeah.
Because that's boring. At this point, that's boring. Having the little camera set up. I don't know. I like The Weeknd. He was doing songs about not feeling his face and shit on CBS, which is cool to me.
That is such an interesting, because I feel like The Weeknd is one of those, he's a
drug and sex artist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say is like as far as like Super Bowl performers, he's not exactly the first person I would think of that would be like mainstream enough to do that. But I guess he had that one big kind of 80s sounding song that everybody likes, which is also, I think, about doing cocaine and too much.
Yeah, I think he has some hits, I think also when I was watching the Super Bowl this whole year, I was like, oh, they definitely had a lighter checkbook than normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like showing ads for like fucking shit that was like, wait, this hair trimmer's advertising during the Super Bowl? What is happening?
Well, I think what happened is because there were a lot of big companies that pulled their Super Bowl ads because it was seen as being ostentatious, I guess, during the pandemic. They're like, oh, we can't, be seen.
I think they just realized it would be useless. Like, they're not going to sell any more Coca-Cola based off a Super Bowl commercial. Right. You just save $20 million off the top.
But that halftime show, there was one part where the band was standing behind, they were kind of like tiered, like on like kind of a terrace, and they were staying behind what was supposed to be like skylines, like skyscrapers, but they did this pullback shot, and it legit just looked like, because they were kind of outlined in like neon lights, and it legitimately just kind of looked like a graveyard or something. It was kind of fucked up looking, but
did you see? Yeah, I mean, that was fun. They tried to change some of the game.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl halftime show is always fun because they try to just appeal to people who don't give a fuck about football.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not have him perform in a graveyard this year?
I put this on Facebook, and the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, actually, this would fucking rule. Would be in an effort to please everybody. Pick random artists out of 4 buckets. Have one for boomers, one for Gen X, one for millennials, one for Zoomers, and have artists from each category, and then pull each one, and then those 4 are either artists or groups have to come together and fucking make something happen. Like I legit think they didn't do the multi-band melody thing, or like multi-band fucking whatever it's called mashup. Well, that was always like that was always whenever they put MTV in charge of doing it. That's always their move. Is like, oh, we'll get fucking Aerosmith to come back, and they'll do Walk This Way with Mariah Carey or some shit.
Yeah.
But I was going to read this. This is, I rather enjoyed it, but not everybody enjoyed it. This is a thing that sort of went viral yesterday. It's a Facebook user, Brad Thompson of Slidell, Louisiana, just across Lake Pontchartrain from New Orleans.
I've heard nothing but good things about Slidell.
It's a fine
very
town.
Progressive town, I've heard.
So this guy writes on Facebook, and this ended up getting shared a bunch, but I'll share it here. I'm about to pull back the curtain and tell you what you saw tonight on the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2008, I was watching the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics in Beijing, China. There were hundreds of dancers dressed exactly alike, making the exact same movements in perfect timing. No one stood out. Everyone looked and danced exactly the same. As I was watching, the Spirit of God spoke to me clearly, and I will never forget the moment. He said, "That is Gog." I knew God had spoken to me, but I had no idea what he meant. So I started my journey to find out what Gog is. And tonight I'm going to explain it to you. In Ezekiel 38:2, Gog is the chief prince of the land of Magog, who leads the final invasion against Israel. Long story short, Gog is a demonic principality with the ideology finding its launching place in the land of Magog, or the Soviet Union.
All right, I like where this is going.
The demonic spirit of communism has now infected the entire world, and its primary spreader is China. The ideals of China is Gog. It will eventually dominate the entire world. What you saw tonight during the halftime show was the demonic principality Gog in America. It is the driving spirit that works with the spirit of Antichrist to deceive people of the world into becoming united as one against Christianity. This demon believes it has total control of the U.S. I believe he is wrong. The dragon / Satan is using Gog to devour America before it can become what God intends. He will lose this fight. So we saw Gog, not God, but Gog is what that was.
Oh, wow. I thought we were just watching choreographed dancers.
I think he's saying
this guy must have missed the part where the military was all marching in step and did not have anybody standing out.
Yeah, exactly. The last line. It is my strong conviction that Gog is about to lose his grip on America. God is getting ready to shake things up. Judgment is coming on those who have set themselves against God's natural order. So he posted that at 10:59 p.m. after the Super Bowl. It got shared 61,000 times. And then the next day, he says, something astonishing happened yesterday. My post about the Super Bowl halftime show has gone viral with over 60,000 shares. It is clear from the comments that there are large numbers of people who are all in for Satan, and they hate our country. So he got mad because everyone was making fun of him and Gog.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You don't want to be the guy getting made fun of for your manifesto.
I looked at his other posts, and he was definitely sharing the Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy documentary, which I haven't watched yet, but I plan on.
Oh God, Rivers, quit doing this to yourself. Quit drinking bad energy drinks. Watching Brain Poison.
I have one more short story to share with you, and this is along the lines of stuff that we've talked about, but involves a YouTube prank.
I love it. I love it already.
So Nashville, Tennessee. 20-year-old Timothy Wilkes met an untimely end while filming a YouTube prank in the parking lot of an urban air indoor trampoline park near Nashville. The Washington Post reports that Wilkes and a friend were attempting to film the reactions of people while they were being held at knife point. Wilkes would brandish a knife, pretending to rob strangers while his friend was filming. Nashville police.
Whoa, what a great prank.
Yeah, you know that prank where you make someone
where everybody has fun. at the end, they're like, "Oh man, what a good prank, dude. You totally made me think I was about to die."
Witnesses told detectives that Wilkes approached 23-year-old David Starnes Jr. with a butcher knife. Starnes immediately pulled out a gun and shot Wilkes, who died instantly.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's, it's one of those things where you're like, I mean, the guy died, but also it's like, yeah, man, he was
trying to rob people.
You pulled a knife on a guy in a parking lot in Nashville. What did you think?
It is crazy to do that in the South where so many people carry guns on them.
Right. Like
even when you're going to the trampoline park, you got to stay strapped, you know?
Yeah, dude.
For good reason, apparently.
Yeah, because you might have weird YouTubers being like, I'm giving your own money, dude.
You made the craziest face.
The shooter stayed on the scene until emergency services arrived and told the Metropolitan Police Department that he had acted in self-defense. No one has been charged in Wilkes' death, and the investigation is ongoing. So I wanted to shout out.
It is funny to be so right. You killed somebody. You're like, I'm just going to stay here until the cops will happen. Yeah, and they'll totally be on my side.
Yeah, and it's on film.
Oh boy. I'm sure that guy's parents are so proud of the kid they raised.
So I wanted to shout out at Chris_Murphy91 for sending that to me, because I was like looking at it, I was like, I want to find any opportunity to find this tragic, but it's like, nope, that's just a perfect A plus B equals C. Like that's what happens.
It unfortunately is funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
This man is the donkey of the week on the Goods from the Woods podcast.
I mean, it's so I love the idea that it's like, oh yeah, for this prank, I'm gonna pretend to fucking put these people in mortal danger.
Yeah, and the felony prank, even if they successfully did that and didn't get killed, that would be just them uploading a super illegal thing to the internet.
yeah, if they didn't get killed, they would definitely at least go to jail. So
yeah,
fucking ridiculous. What have you been up to this week, man, other than going to the store and shit like that?
The day before the Super Bowl, there's a big party on the sidewalk.
Oh, good.
Just that corner is the intersection on our side. There's just some people set up a tent and a Weber grill, and they're out there from about 11 till about 9.
Oh,
just having people come by and chill and drink and eat.
Christ.
But they were outside, so it's fine, Rivers.
Yeah, I guess so. Tell people about the new podcast. I shared on our Twitter, but people should know about Shermed.
Shermed Out, yeah. Cooper and I doing a podcast about God knows what. We have our page ready. We're uploading. I don't know if he's uploaded more than one yet, but we have more than one recorded.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I think you can find it at Shermed Out Pod on Twitter. Nice. is the place you need to go currently, because we still haven't figured out the multi-link whatever site. But I think also it's pretty much uploaded on every platform.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Nice.
Well, but yeah, we're just going to talk. Cooper's going to act like he's too cool. And then I'm going to knock him off his high horse. That's the plan for the podcast.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, yeah, I'll be sure to share next time. And I think I shared when the first one dropped on our Twitter, but I'll do it again for the next one, whenever that comes out and stuff like that, so people can find it either there or on ours.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, we're going to try to keep doing it about once a week, if I can convince Cooper to. Everything that is bad with that podcast is Cooper's fault. I just want everybody to know right now. All the good parts are me. All the bad parts are him. And yeah, check it out. We're going to film another sketch today, I think. We're having the best time ever.
Nice. I'm excited to see it. Well, tell people.
Everybody needs to live with a roommate 11 years younger than them. That's my suggestion.
Tell people where they can find you on the internet.
Slam Harder on Twitter, and that's it.
All right.
Don't find me anywhere else.
All right. Well, this is fun, man. We'll do it again next week.
Yeah, man. Good talking to you.
All right. Peace.
Birmingham, the greatest city in Alabama. You can travel across this entire land. There ain't no place like Birmingham.
We are hanging out right now in Magic City, USA, Birmingham, Alabama, at Avondale Park. Once again, hanging out with at One Dumb Boy, at Rod for short. It's Nick Thomas, Narado Moore. What's up, fellas?
Roll goddamn time.
No, get out of here with that. Come on.
I'm indifferent.
I was always trying to flip Nick to be an Auburn fan.
I couldn't go that far.
To troll Joe Raines. I was like, you don't give a shit. I think I have a better chance of doing it with Carter.
Yeah, Carter's probably more. Well, Carter went to Alabama, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that'd be even funnier if you could flip him more than me. Like if.
See, this is the good thing, is that Joe doesn't listen to the show, so
yes.
This is where I lay out all of my nefarious schemes to annoy Joe Raines.
Yeah, you tried to get me to do that at that. That was a really cool bar in LA though, where you can watch the games at, and it's just like all Alabama and Auburn fans.
Oh, was that Big Wangs?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I remember that name, but yeah, probably.
There was a bar like that in Chicago. We went to Chicago a couple years ago. Well, shit, it was like 10 years ago now. Me, Martin Morrow, and Mike McCall. And Mike got so upset that was an Alabama bar, but not an Auburn bar.
It's like, dude, you're in Chicago. It's amazing that there's even just this.
Right. People here have things to do other than
I don't
college
It's the
football.
thing that shows you how much of like a commuter town that Chicago is, because it was my first time there, and we got there. I was like, "Why the fuck? Why is there a Virginia themed bar here? Wisconsin,
That's even weird.
UCLA. What the fuck is this shit?" And then I saw a fucking Alabama bar, and I was like,
Okay.
"Wow, people just moved to this motherfucker like that, huh?"
They do,
Mike was
man.
upset, and the best thing about it was that after we saw that, and Mike was a little peeved, we went out one more night, and we were in this diner. And there was this Hispanic family that came in, and one of the guys was wearing an Auburn sweatshirt, and so Mike got excited. And he was like, "I'm gonna throw that guy a War Eagle."
Uh-oh.
And so
Urban Outfitters?
and we went into the bathroom, and Mike was like, "War Eagle," and the guy was like, "Okay." And he
I
was
got
like,
this at the Salvation Army.
your shirt, and the guy he just gave him a thumbs up and walked out. And I was like, Mike, that dude is probably like a fucking migrant that doesn't speak any English. He just bought a $2
that fucking
sweatshirt
thrift
at a
store.
fucking thrift store. He's
Yeah.
not an Auburn fan.
Dude, they started they started. I've fallen victim to this too. They started selling Auburn shirts at Urban Outfitters.
Oh shit!
And,
Really?
and people, with like the old school, like the '60s, like cartoon tiger, and people just bought them because they're like, oh, I like tigers. Like they don't,
it does
so
look cool.
Dozens of times in LA, I've given a War Eagle to somebody and they just fucking stare at me. Like,
Man.
fucking Urban Outfitters, man.
I mean, I'll give them that. That is a cool logo.
Well, the Urban Outfitters does that shit with like hip hop and wrestling. Like they
Yeah.
take cool things and then
Ruin it.
idiots buy them, and it's like, oh, a cool Macho Man shirt. They're like,
I
"Who's
can't wear that."
It's like the guy on your fucking shirt, man.
I can't wear that
It's-
shit
it's-
anymore
it's-
now.
It's called Urban Outfitters. Like that's the name lets you know everything you need to know about the culture. Like their
Yeah.
whole job is to just outfit you in urban clothes.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
you know nothing about.
we can't let shit get cool anymore.
It's like, oh, that's a cool ass shirt. I'm gonna wear this. Somebody's like the bad guy, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking about? It's like, you got a Razor Ramon sweatshirt and hat on. What the fuck you mean? What am I talking about? It's like,
I just liked how his hair
like
was
the
curled
colors.
in front of
I thought
his
it
face.
was cool ass
Right.
shirt and hat.
They should just call Urban Outfitters cultural graveyard, like just where everything
Yeah.
that you used to like goes to fucking die,
That's
and
it.
idiots buy it.
Colonizers.
Yeah, that's exactly what the
Change
fuck
to
it is.
colonizers.
It's like, oh, cool Biggie shirt. And they're like, who? They're like, oh, you mean the Fat King on my shirt?
Oh yeah, I was wondering who that guy is.
I didn't know who that
The
was. I
king of
just thought it
the-
was cool because I like kings and he's got a crown on.
I like
What's he
fat
do?
kings.
Is he a rapist?
Oh man, well we talked about the Super Bowl a little bit with Sam Harder in the previous segment, but Rod has just brought some crucial new information to my attention, and that is that one of the, I guess, most notable Super Bowl commercials that happened during the big game was the thing where Bruce Springsteen went to a church in the middle of Kansas, which geographically is the exact middle of America, and he was driving a Jeep there. And it's weird because he's, over the past, like, I'd say 10 years or so, he's really cultivated this, like, strange cowboy aesthetic, even though he is straight up from New Jersey.
Yeah.
He's wearing that tiny ass fucking 1800s cowboy priest hat in the commercial.
Yeah, it's such
I missed that.
It's such a weird
I didn't see that
thing.
It
one.
looked
in
more like a
general.
Quaker's hat than a cowboy hat.
That's how like far into Jersey he is, and like not even has no idea.
But it's all like, it's one of those like pre-bent hats. I mean, to bring up wrestling again, it's kind of like what Trish Stratus used to wear.
Oh, God.
kind of pre-bent cowboy
Yeah,
hats. It doesn't
yeah.
have the
It's so small. It's
Say
like,
no
it's
more.
like it's like the part on his head is like the size of a newsboy cap, and then the brim is like 15 inches out, and then curled up like it belongs to George Washington. It's a very
That's like a
weird
custom hat you'd make in Red Dead Redemption or something. If they
It's super weird. It doesn't match anything. The hat hat doesn't match itself, let alone his aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's so weird. He's just been doing this like cowboy thing, which, I won't fault him for, because that is a thing that just happens to white guys when they reach 60. They just immediately start thinking they're cowboys.
Especially a lot of, older musicians.
If they got money, dude, because Rod and I, before you got here and before we started rolling, we were talking about the city of Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and
love it there. I'm gonna move there.
Well, I was telling Rod I went there in like 2015, and I just knew that it was the town next to the Grand Tetons, which is what I was there to see. Was the national park, and I didn't know that it was like Beverly Hills in the middle of nowhere.
Rich ass people like retire there.
Until I went into a store and saw a $1,300 cowboy hat, and then I was like, I slowly like put it together. Like I was like, oh, and then I stepped outside, and like 2 stores down was a Louis Vuitton. I was like,
that's it.
It's a rich people. But that,
it's a great place. But yeah, it definitely is where rich white people retire to.
But that was what I'm saying is like if you're old and you got a lot of money, if you haven't already gone through a cowboy phase when you're supposed to at age 3,
Yeah, that's when you do it.
You look around, you're like, well, what's some really expensive shit? It's like, cowboy shit's expensive, dude.
Yes.
You go to Jackson Hole, you buy a 115-room log cabin, and you just put Justified on all the TVs.
That actually sounds pretty fucking.
I was gonna say, I hate that I'm getting towards 60 eventually. I'm not that far away, so that does sound nice.
It's not gonna be the worst place to live.
But anyway, so this commercial drops, and of course, Bruce Springsteen, a noted Democrat, big fundraiser for the Democratic Party and stuff like that. So often targeted by conservatives for his beliefs and shit like that. Which whatever, he's a public figure. Our whole thing is making fun of public figures. Have at it. But in this case, the big bombshell that got dropped is that back in November, apparently, Bruce Springsteen, star of the Jeep ad, was arrested for a DWI in New Jersey.
Oh, man.
Back in November, and they're just now, I guess, bringing it up.
It happens
it's the grand plan to disgrace him by old, out-of-touch conservatives.
He's made it this long without one, first of all. That's impressive. So that's not even a knock on him, honestly. It's like a good thing.
Oh, well, just wait till you hear the circumstances, because the circumstances of this DUI are kind of notable.
Okay.
So this is from the New York Post, and I will, New York Post, they are... if you look up the definition of try hard,
their headlines are pretty good, to say the least.
Worst.
He was bombed in the USA.
I love it.
Bruce Springsteen was arrested for DWI and reckless driving in his home state. It was revealed Wednesday, days after he appeared in a much-hyped Super Bowl commercial for Jeep. The Born to Run icon, 71, was busted in November at Gateway National Recreation Area in New Jersey. A spokesperson for the National Park Service said. So he got arrested at a national forest for drunk driving in a national forest.
Where you usually drive.
Which, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing.
Breaking this just in, alert. Bruce Springsteen is an American grandfather.
Yeah.
He likes to get drunk in the woods.
He's retired.
Man, drinking in the woods.
He's doing
we got to get this one out to TMZ.
He's retired.
This is going to ruin him.
He's doing what you do when you retire.
Fucking Ted Cruz paying a private investigator to dig up dirt.
Don't even get me started
on this new woke icon from the Super Bowl ad. Guess what? He got a DWI in the woods in November.
Buddy, I'm calling this now. This was the local fucking Barney Fife ass cop from whatever town this national forest is next to.
Who's an informant for Ted Cruz? Actually.
Right? Yeah, no, he probably just leaked it to Ted Cruz.
He messages him on Twitter, and even Ted Cruz doesn't give a shit.
Call our guy up in Jersey and get some dirt on this new.
That's what Ted Cruz does.
Black Lives Matter advocate Bruce Springsteen. He got a DWI about 14 weeks ago.
He's got a bullseye on he's got a bullseye on Springsteen and Seth Rogen right now. I know that.
Springsteen was charged with DWI, reckless driving, and consuming alcohol in a closed area, the spokesperson said. So again, drunk in the woods. I could maybe be more mad if he was, drinking and driving in a school zone or something. But listen, if you want to get fucked up and drive around in the woods, Go for it.
Yeah,
I don't
think
care.
that's what you do in the woods.
That's what the woods are for.
That's why you go to the woods to drive. That's why you get like a 4-wheel drive vehicle is to get drunk and drive it through the woods. Why do you do that sober?
That's why you get one of those brush guards on the front so you can hit trees at high speeds.
Yeah, busting Bruce Springsteen for drinking and driving in the woods is like the same as like doing a headline about like this drug bust, and it's like, what happened? The cops arrested Bruce Springsteen on his doorstep. He had a joint in his hand.
Right, exactly. He was smoking while getting the fucking newspaper. That's why, essentially, like trails that people ride four-wheelers and shit on is a drunk driving course. It's not. It's for like, I'm gonna drink. I should go to the place I'm allowed to.
And it was closed, so he was being as safe as you could ask for in that situation.
I don't understand why he got a DWI. Honestly, that's a bullshit.
He wouldn't do a TikTok for this asshole deputy.
He's one of those TikTok cops too that like, which is a whole wormhole. I don't know if y'all have gone down.
TikTok, I tell everybody I ran into you out here, and he's like, I don't do things like that. I'm Bruce Springsteen. I'm not Young Thug.
Have y'all seen TikTok cops, by the way? Like it's a whole fucking.
I've seen those videos.
They're bad, dude. I've never cringed so hard in my life.
Are they rapping about public safety?
Not really. No, they're like
mostly. Think of the scene in the smash cuts in Rambo where he's gearing up.
Oh,
yeah,
Commando.
Yeah.
It's just exactly things like that. It's just cops like sitting in their car, straightening their tie, and they've got their badge and they're showing all that shit off, and they're just like, "Hey, it's Officer Stanley. Another day of keeping the streets of Paramus safe."
They'll have some shitty new country song over it too, and they'll lip sync. There's like some where they're like
Morgan Wallen for sure. Wallen.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know that they're a cop in the beginning too. Some of them are like just got out of bed, and then they like do that thing where like they snap and they got more clothes on, then snap again, and then it's like their full tactical gear. It's like
Jesus. News of the bust broke just days after Springsteen appeared and narrated a Super Bowl spot for Jeep in which he implored Americans to move towards the political middle in a spirit of unity. And I gotta say, what could be more uniting than catching a DWI?
I gotta think that being an old white man getting drunk in the woods is way more of a conservative thing than a liberal thing.
Yeah.
That's true. But
it straight up is.
Like, this is going to play very well to the people they're trying to make upset about this.
It's like it totally backfired.
And all they're thinking is Bruce Springsteen's just like us. Maybe he's not that bad.
Right.
We're past saving.
I found this news out while drunk in the woods.
Now, if he just has a really messy divorce and they take his kids, then he'll be straight up the perfect middle American old white guy.
We're past saving then if that doesn't do it. That doesn't unite us for real.
Yeah, the next Super Bowl will just be him in that same church.
That's
being like, the rights of men are being ignored.
Maybe he leaked this to the press himself because they say, be the change you want to see in the world. And so he leaked this to the press. He's like, he called for unity. He'll say, hey, man, I'm just like you. You know, I'm rich.
It didn't work.
And I live in a mansion. But guess what? I got a DWI a couple months ago, just getting drunk in the woods. You know, we're all the same.
Yeah.
That's sad, man, because it's a good message. And like it didn't work, sadly.
Well, and it's funny because his publicist, points this out. Like when they asked for comment, they're like, Bruce is not like a big drinker. And that's like a thing that people know about him. Like, he's one of them like really like crazed workaholic types that just was like, I'm always working on the song and on the show, man.
Yeah, he's like one of those. He's like the most squeaky clean guy.
He puts on 3-hour-long shows at the age of 71. Like, he's not a huge boozer. So this really, I truly believe this was just this man was shit-faced on a camping trip. Was like, I'll make the next beer run, guys.
Yeah. I can't remember in my 30 years of living Bruce Springsteen being in any trouble like this. So you got to think. I mean, look, if the dude has been as famous and as much of a rock star as he is for this long, and he waits till 70 to get busted for driving intoxicated, and he's in the woods, I mean, hats off to that.
And that's also, it's like back to what we said, it's not even who gives a fuck, too.
You know
it's
how many opportunities Bruce Springsteen has had to be caught downtown with his car wrapped around a pole with 2 hookers covered in cocaine?
Right, that didn't happen.
If he can wait till 70 to get busted for DWI, I think we should expunge his record and let him go.
They're making it sound like he got Me Too'd or something.
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay.
Yeah. We'll give him another Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, please.
For this one.
Right, from the good president.
Yeah, we should fucking do it.
Speaking of freedom, I've got a bit of a backlog, gentlemen. I've been a little bit fanatical in my buying of energy drinks.
I'm worried about you now.
Because of this bit that we're doing, which, as Sam pointed out, has gone from a bit to a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But if they ever stop making funny energy drinks, then I'll stop buying them. But in
Your
the
life's
meantime,
over, because that's not happening, first of all.
so I wanted to kind of clear out the backlog and in the form of letting y'all do a little taste test here. So I have in front of me, we kind of moved past Bang several weeks ago, but I still have.
I'm upset that this is the brand we're doing. These are awful.
These are gross.
Yeah.
I still have several Bangs that I wanted to clear out of the fridge, and I'll let y'all choose. I'm happy with either, but in front of us, I have purple guava pear. Which I'm banking on maybe being the tastiest one of the three.
That's what's sad is it probably is.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I'm going to go for the same one you're going for.
I gotta go with the strawberry blast.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the next one is Strawberry Blast, which this one is very patriotic. It's got a fighter jet on it and an
That
American
kinda
flag.
reminds me of Suckers. Popsicles.
And then finally, the most mysterious of these that I personally am hoping.
That's me.
That's the one you're.
That's
the one
who
you're
I
taking?
went straight
Okay.
for it.
This one is called Froze Rose.
For the wine moms on the go.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, but I have to know.
So Nick, you're trying Froze Rose. Rod, you're going with Strawberry Blast, correct?
I'm a patriot.
So I'm with purple guava pear.
That's
Nick-
going to be the popsicle flavor, I hope, but not good. Pop it open.
Oh yeah. Here, pour me a little Froze Rose into my cup because I do. Oh my God, it's crystal clear. Why?
Oh, God, that's bad, huh?
Oh boy, that's okay. And I'm gonna crack my purple guava pear.
It's got, I brought up, accidentally said sucker a minute ago, but it's got like those dum-dum sucker like aftertaste, which is not good for a drink.
It doesn't taste like rosé.
No. They taste like a dum-dum sucker,
All
like
right,
melted into a can. You know what I mean? It's got that
Holy shit! Yeah,
It's got, it tastes like a dum-dum.
it does taste like a dum dum. Wow.
Which is not a drink I want ever. Like, I don't even want a dum-dum sucker, to be honest. Unless I'm at the bank or something.
I have an update from yesterday, by the way. I tried something called Apollo. The flavor was Apollo. The company was Raise.
Huh.
It fucked my world up, dude. Like, I was...
He's addicted to energy drinks now, by the
It
way.
has 300 milligrams of caffeine, and like I stood up and my head was swimming. Like
He's
it was
tweaking.
I was tweaking out. It was
man.
nuts, dude. It was fucking nuts.
It's
Like,
funny because, like, I'm picturing Rivers. You guys can't see him right now, but his hair's a little frazzled on the sides. He's got
I look insane.
he's got some purple sunglasses on.
They're
and,
rosé. They're froze rosé.
He's got some rose colored sunglasses, and he's just like, "No, you guys got to know about this flavor."
Listen to me. Raise is crazy.
It
Look
fucked
at the
my
world
world
of
up.
Rose tinted glasses.
The Skinner shirt goes with it, which is an awesome Skinner shirt, by the way.
Oh, buddy,
On a pack of smokes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem. Purple guava pear is delicious.
I'm addicted.
I love it.
The strawberry blast is banging, man.
It's good? Okay.
It does taste.
Has it got the?
Does it taste like a fighter jet?
It
it's
tastes
like
like
a-
a strawberry creamsicle.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish I would have. Yeah. No.
I knew this was a good idea bringing
It's
these
good.
up.
I
Y'all
like
can
it.
have that one.
It's
I'm not
very
drinking
soft.
that one
It's
this
got a
time.
real soft taste on it.
Rose, not a keeper.
Okay, yeah, the guava pear is pretty good. Although it does remind me that a big thing in LA is they will have drinks that are flavored like quote unquote prickly pears, which is the fruit of a cactus, and then you just get it and it's just pear flavored.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a shit.
No.
It's not the same.
And
fruit.
people will still buy it after tasting it a million times.
Wiener Schnitzel. I'm calling your summer drink lineup out right now. Not y'all.
Oh man, not great either. Speaking of Joe Raines earlier, yeah, he loves Wiener Schnitzel, and it's like, dude, this sucks. We used to go after a mic all the time. It's like, you want to go to Wiener Schnitzel? It's like, you just go because it's within walking distance.
Dude, the funnest, Mike. Shout out to Cafe and Urban, and shout out,
yeah.
actually, congratulations to our friend from Cafe and Urban, Chris Estrada, sold a fucking pilot
Fuck
to Hulu.
yeah, dude.
Which is cool as shit. So,
yeah, if anybody fucking deserves it, it's that dude.
past
He's fucking
guest of
great.
the show, literally literally one of the only people in LA comedy who you can't find someone to say anything bad about.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. It's
that was
impossible.
our Mike buddy back in the day.
Yeah,
too.
dude.
He ran with the crew.
Yeah, well, he still goes to mics and shit.
He's a worker.
He
man.
does it, buddy. Yeah, so shout out to him. And
Can't wait to see it.
oh man. Okay, so look, I got. I'm trying to think of where to start because both of these are along the same lines, but I guess we'll start here just because it's one thing as opposed to a bunch of things. So this is from Milwaukee. This is from
Hoosier State.
what?
I've heard that. I've definitely heard that.
So, Wisconsin pharmacist, 46-year-old Steve Brandenburg, pled guilty last month to leaving about 570 doses of the Moderna COVID vaccine unrefrigerated to deliberately spoil them, and he now faces up to 10 years in prison. Cool. So, this pharmacist was just like, fuck 570 of you.
It's also like, you can just not do that and say fuck 570 of you.
Right.
Like, there's...
It's it's very similar to the Capitol thing where it's like you could have just stayed home.
Yeah, you could have not done that.
And you would have proved your point exactly as much as you did doing this.
Right.
So
Obviously, that dude has been paid off by GlaxoSmithKline.
Brandenburg was quickly identified as the culprit by his colleagues, so they ratted him out
They're
immediately.
like, he's that dude at work. It's like, yeah, that is the only person that could have done that.
You're right. This is the next quote. Because of his, quote, vocal convictions against the vaccine that he'd been voicing for months at work to anyone that would listen.
They'll never know it was me that did this. Of the four other
Everybody
people.
knows that, like, the COVID denying crew is
One's to watch for.
completely insane. And
You got to
it's
watch
like,
for them when they're a
they're
fucking pharmacist.
so stupid, and not just because of their COVID denial, but because they'll pull crimes like this. You know, we saw the same thing with those people storming the Capitol who wouldn't even wear a mask to cover their face from the cops. And it's the same thing. This dude has been going around the job preaching against coronavirus. He's anti-vax. He's anti-COVID vax. And then these vials get fucked up, and it's just like, well, who was working that day? Oh, the COVID denier. That's his sector.
Oh, it was definitely
I
Steve.
think it might have been Steve.
It was
Well, you
Steve.
think when Steve's going around denying the COVID vaccine that maybe the person in charge be like, let's not let him near the vaccine or let's
How
fire
does that
him.
not get you? Yeah, like how does that not get you fired? Like,
That's like
if you
immediate.
worked at Pizza Hut and you just kept screaming how like meat is murder, I don't think they let you near the wings.
No, like if you're, exactly.
As far as I know, this happened at a CVS. I'm pretty sure they have in the back on the bulletin board a number you can call for just such a thing.
Like, it's weird, man.
In the break room, right next to the coffee
And
pot.
there's
gotta
one
watch
place
those
that's got
fucking people.
cameras in it. It's the fucking pharmacy. section.
Yeah, man.
Like, what's this dude think he was gonna do? Like, I guess he thought he was gonna get a Trump pardon.
Yeah, it's probably exactly what it was, honestly.
Brandenburg allegedly told his colleague at Advocate Aurora Health Systems in Grafton, okay, it's not a CVS, but it's
Thank
still
God, that's
they've
where I
got
go.
there is someone higher than him on the company ladder.
That's where I get my medicine at.
That he does not believe that the coronavirus is real and he thinks that the vaccine is going to harm people. Brandenburg thinks the vaccine is quote unquote microchipped, so he's corny too.
He's insane.
And will turn people's birth control and will turn off people's birth control, which usually for like weird, Christian
It's a very
conspiracy
conservative
guys.
stance to take. Why is he anti turning off birth control?
Right. And
Yeah.
you would think that would be good for some reason.
I don't
Is he a
know.
liberal COVID denier?
This dude doesn't even know what he thinks.
Well, this says it'll turn off people's birth control and make others infertile. So apparently that's the side effect is like, either or. You're either going to be barren or really, really fecund. Who knows?
Who cares, too?
Talk about single issue voting. Like,
Also, who
my
gives
man
a-
is such a birth advocate that he's willing to deny COVID just for the sake. Well, I'm not really here. I don't really care about COVID and microchips. I just really have a problem with the fact that it's going to turn off people's birth control and make others infertile. And it's just like, so you're trying to help people not get pregnant You're mad that people are gonna not be able to stop getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And you're mad that people are not gonna be able to get pregnant. I don't know what your end game is.
It's the randomness that upsets me.
You
frankly.
could tell me and it like show me proof that there's a microchip in it, and I'd still get it. Like I don't give a fuck at this point.
Well, and also, as I pointed out, I actually got into it with a professional wrestler about that because that's what my life is now. That I made the point that like the same people who are like, there's a microchip in the vaccine are also the same people who are on their phones 24/7 wherever
Yeah.
they go. And it's like, dude, you literally have a microchip in your hand.
At all
Oh
times.
my god!
At all times.
Was this
I
one
don't
of the
understand how you
Steiners that
can-
you were?
I wish, dude. God, I wish it was one of
I
the
wish it was
Steiners.
Scott Steiner.
I wouldn't argue with Scott Steiner, okay?
Yeah.
How do
I
you
know, I
work in a
believe you,
building
dude.
Like that? How do you work in an industry that requires you to have all these different licenses and certifications, and you know for a fact that they're keeping tabs on all the logs on the computer and watching everything on cameras, and then you get upset because this vaccine has a microchip in it. Like your
Yeah.
entire life revolves around Big Brother. Like why is this the breaking point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Some of the conspiracy theories Brandenburg told. Oh yeah, by the way, the woman who reported him hilariously is named Sarah Sticker.
What?
What are these names?
Okay, what?
I mean, good for you for reporting him, but you do have a funny name.
Now, that-
They always
that
do.
falls under the one of the notes of I don't understand people with weird last names.
No, yeah.
I don't understand why somebody in the family long ago didn't change it. Like people whose last names
Yeah.
are like Smelly
Yeah.
and Stink and
Yeah.
Booty.
Or
Sticker.
Hitler, yeah.
Like how the fuck did like in 1940 did somebody go, I'm not doing this?
No. But also,
it's
like,
also there might be a grandfather situation where the name was like Shtuka, and
They
it was like,
change
I'll
it.
just make it easy to live in Milwaukee.
yeah, I'm about to say,
That's so weird.
what's the country of origin for that? You know?
So the pharmacist, he'd been with this company for 13 years and was, quote, very engaged in conspiracy theories. Some of the conspiracy theories that he told Sticker about included, and here's the list: the Earth is flat, and the sky is not real.
The good ones, the believable ones, the ones that aren't dangerous.
Rather, and this is awesome. Rather, the sky is a shield put up by the government to prevent people from seeing God.
Oh, dude, he believes that one too. Hold on a second, I got some thoughts on that.
But like that would
If the government has the power to put shields up by making the sky so you can't see God, I don't really.
I've never heard
think,
that.
I don't really think that you got bigger
I'm
fish
not
to
gonna-
fry than a microchip.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
fuck
I've
with
never-
the government. If they could make a shield that stopped me from seeing God, I would never criticize them again. I'd be like, you know what?
You know,
y'all are good.
I've never heard that. I've never even heard that one.
Understand those people who think that. Like I always like whenever I see stuff like that, it's just always like if you believe in God the way you say you do, that means you believe in all the power He's supposed to have. And if that's the case, like what makes you think He needs you to defend Him?
Right.
But in this
Right.
case, it's like if God is who you think He is, but the government can put up a shield on Him, then He's not as powerful as you think.
yeah, he ain't shit for real.
Like if I thought the government could do that, that will make me question my faith, not be upset with
Right,
thinking
right.
I need to take the shield down from the government. I think the government has more power.
they
than
got
God.
a lot of. Maybe God works for them.
Right,
Maybe the
it's
God.
like, yeah, right. Like if the government could do that, then they must be more powerful.
Or even
than God.
better, maybe Satan works for them, and like he's the one working with them to set the shield up.
Well, that begs the question: at what point did God appear in the sky? Because does that mean that the government predated God appearing in the sky, thus necessitating the shield? Or like, when did the shield be? When was the shield created? Like same time as NATO?
I
What are we
think it
talking?
begs the question: what was God distracted by when they were putting
They
up
did
the
that.
shield to block him from Earth? Like, what was he?
God, he's watching everything.
Why was he just letting that happen?
Also, you know how every time I do this podcast, I'm like, oh, another movie idea. Here's we're adding this to the list. Maybe top of the list. This one.
So, like basically, the government is Mr. Burns and God is his
Yeah,
son.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is a Mr. Burns invention right here.
Someone needs to Maggie Simpson them. You know? Stop the shield.
Not WSMS.
Also, and this to the surprise of no one, He also once showed her a .45 handgun he kept on him at work, telling her that, quote, he kept it in case the military came to take him away.
So they shouldn't have fired him for the vaccine shit. They should have fired him years ago when this happened. And saying some insane shit like that after it.
Sarah Sticker, why weren't you reporting the gun?
That was more important.
Yeah.
And how do you even... Like, was that how he hit on her? Because I mean, weird people are automatically creepy.
They think people believe the same shit as
them. Was he
them.
just like, hey, psst, check this out?
Yeah,
they're so far. Yeah, exactly.
I keep this gun on me because the National Guard might storm in here to take me away. I know some things.
The government might be watching me. I'm kind of like Jason Bourne.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like, oh, how are you going to repel the military, Steve? Oh, with a one pistol.
Yeah, a fucking
that should do the job against the National Guard.
A fucking 38 special with 6 bullets in it.
This government who has the power to block God out with the shield. Right. They don't have any money left over for defense, so they're just going to send the army here with a couple of twigs.
That's the thing with these nut
take
jobs.
Them all down with his gun.
These nut jobs like this too. That's why you keep hearing about him being so vocal about conspiracy theories. They're so far removed. They think everybody fucking either doesn't know about it or will believe this.
They're
shit.
like cult members. They think that they could save. They're like everybody else who tries to do some good things. They're like, if I could just touch one person in this room of 1,000, I've done my job.
Just for the record,
they spout that kind of shit out.
Just for the record, as Rod was just talking, him and Rivers simultaneously were filling their Milo's cups up with the rest of the energy drinks.
Oh, here, let's get some Foley. Oh, yeah. Crushed it.
Listen,
crushed it.
Oh, you guys have to see how Rivers looks right now. It just goes perfect with the.
See, Nick Thomas, what you don't understand is if you drink Bang, that it allows you to see through the shield.
It gives you the moral
that
clarity.
The government has put up, and then you can see God through the shield.
Yeah, and Rod and I actually.
I don't know if I want to. I'm not ready.
You got to think of yourself like Superman. Like humans are Superman, and the shield is made of lead. Superman can't see through lead. Yeah.
I'm not ready.
Bang. Bang is like the power of the sun, and it boosts your powers up so much you can see through the sky and see the true face of God. Spoiler alert, he looks a lot like Dee Snider.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert, he is Dee Snider.
So this guy initially, when he got arrested, claimed that he left him out by accident, and then later confirmed he was like, no, I did it on purpose.
Okay.
He says he later emailed the health service blaming sleepless nights while separated from his kids because of a very contentious divorce.
Of course he's getting divorced.
So
what is it about a bad divorce that just pushes you down the rabbit hole of insane conspiracy theories?
Wasn't it already bad if you're getting a divorce? Wasn't it already bad up to that point? Like, is it change your fucking brain chemistry that much for it to actually sign a fucking piece of paper confirming it?
I mean, dude,
it does. It's like when criminals finally get caught and don't have another card to play, and then they just start lashing out or crying like babies because it's like it's truly over. And that's what those people go through.
Truly over.
It's super bad in the relationship, but you always think she's been taking it for 6 years.
Yep.
She'll continue taking it. I've broken her down. She's weak, and then she hits you with those papers, and you're just like,
fuck, maybe
you don't want me anymore. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, there's that, and also like they're not there. Like, there's kids. Sometimes the kids and wife aren't there around you as a distraction anymore, so you can start writing manifestos.
All he had to do was move out to Kanye's fucking farm, man. And
figure it out, get saved. Yeah, and Jackson Hole. Yeah, I forgot.
But now, to quote a Bruce Springsteen lyric, he's down in the Jackson cage.
Oh,
hey, that's The River. Good album, 1980.
I like how he just used the excuse. I accidentally left almost 600 vials of this medicine out. That one's on your boy.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
I gotta say, I ain't been sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
I accidentally left out 47 cases of
this shit that's like very important right now that we fucking need. Like that's not like a whoopsie. That's like a fuck, man.
I know you heard about me being anti-coronavirus vaccine, but I promise you, those two things are not mutually exclusive.
It's also like either way, if they're not, you fucked up bad enough for us to definitely fucking at least let you go.
Yeah, this is like a cop blowing up a daycare. It's like, I don't care if it was an accident. You're fucking fine.
No, I didn't. Cop blowing up a daycare. Like I didn't sleep the past 48 hours. I was on Adderall.
Divorce documents obtained by WISN show his terrified wife had fled town and warned that Steve was storing bulk food and guns over fear of planned attacks by the government. So he was getting those Jim Baker buckets.
Those are usually the first step when you got to watch somebody is when they start storing canned foods and stuff. That's usually like they hadn't went off the deep end completely yet, but they're about to.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to the beginning of the pandemic when it was just like, you've never had more of a sign that it's time to go in the bunker. So why aren't you guys in the bunker? Why are you in the streets protesting and acting stupid?
Right.
Why aren't you down in? What were you storing bullets and food for?
Right.
If a national pandemic of a viral nature isn't the time to go into that bunker you built, then what the fuck? When do you go?
Because like the conspiracy theory that it was like man-made by the government, the COVID goes into their whole fucking belief system too. So like I would definitely.
Like to what you're saying, it's like if you just go to hang out at a show and then someone drops out and they're like, hey, do you want to go on for 5? And this person is like, no.
Yeah.
Like the real life thing that you've been preparing for is here. And you're like, nah.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
That has been bothering me since March 1st. Ever since those people took to the streets to protest, so like you guys have been building bunkers and talk about how you can hold out and you're ready. And now we've never been at a more heightened state of the government is trying to kill you. They're coming to take your guns. They're coming to give you a disease. That's time to go down under the earth and shut that door for a couple of years, my man.
Yeah.
And they just will not. They just will not.
They never will. They'll never go through with any of it. It's all a fucking...
It's just cosplay.
It's cosplay.
We've
it's
had
exactly
this
what it
conversation
is.
before, Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they talk about like almost like to the point where, when you hear people that like... I'm like, I'm preparing for a zombie apocalypse thing, people. Like, but they know that's not real. And when they say that, you think that like deep down they wish it would happen so they can go around shooting zombies. Like when it say it does happen, that's when they're like, well, I didn't really fucking want this. I was just want people to think that I would do it if it were to happen. They want people to think they're like Rambo, basically.
They're just like in the trunk of their car crying.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's all over. It's happening. The zombies are here. Like, dude, I thought you had a whole room ready for this. Like, I can't do it.
They want people to think they're Daryl from The Walking Dead, basically, is like that while it's not going on. Then when the shit hits the fan, they do that. That's all it is.
That actually transitions perfectly into the next thing I wanted to mention, which is... I've said this before. I think I said this when I was here talking to you the last fucking time, is that I want to not talk about the Capitol again. Yeah. But they keep arresting funny people. If you would, if every person that gets arrested would stop being the most hilarious person, then I could stop. Because the thing is, like, my parents keep on MSNBC most of the day.
Yeah.
And they are using that footage as their bloody shirt of being like, look how bad it is. And I'm like,
God.
If you really want to cover this the way it should be covered, is like, go into how deeply hilarious all of these people are.
Please, because it is.
Because that's the thing they don't want, is to be laughed at. If you're literally on TV every day going, this was the worst thing. There was a guy who literally was like, this was the worst thing the Republicans have ever done or something. I was like, do we want to ask Iraq about that?
Yeah. Well, they keep making these dumb fucks want to do it too when they're on the news.
Well, it makes it seem cool that MSNBC is like, this is the worst. And it's like,
oh, I want to do that now. They'll fucking
it makes it seem like it was effective, and it's like it was the least effective insurrection in history.
It was so pointless.
They went in there to stop the certification of the election, and they were also pro-police.
And it got
they went in there, killed the cop, and then pushed the election certification back for like 3 hours.
It got nothing done.
It was absolutely the most ineffective shit. And they keep acting like the fucking National Guard is still running through the streets of D.C. trying to get things in order.
Essentially, what they did was the equivalent of like pulling a fire alarm.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah, they got back on track literally by the time we were finished with our podcast, because that is how long the whole thing lasted, was us, the duration of the three of us talking about Assassin AD33, now at patreon.com/thegoodspod.
And on Amazon. Very good movie.
But yeah, so I've just got Capitol Writer quick hits and then a New York Times piece that I would like to focus on. But
I'm always down for the Capitol Riot stuff.
We'll just run down the quick hits. First up, Jenny Cudd ran for mayor in, again, hilarious name.
The name's never not going to be funny. I might as well just fucking.
You're somebody who's all talk. You're constantly chewing the. I don't know. Anyway, Jenny Cudd, who ran for mayor in Midland, Texas in 2019, was arrested last month for her participation in the riots, which she was not only photographed but also posted a 25-minute long video of her wearing a Trump flag like a cape and talking and taking pictures in the rotunda. In the video, she states directly that she and other Trump supporters stormed the Capitol because Mike Pence betrayed us. She has since gone on to say that
He hasn't even had time
Her
to
blood
yet.
sugar was low.
He hasn't even had time to yet.
yeah, that's the next Snickers commercial.
You're not yourself when you're
Not
hungry.
yourself when you're hungry. Here,
Judging by the fucking Super Bowl ads, I would not be surprised if that's the next one. They're very close to that.
yeah, that'll be the next one. Kendall Jenner hands a Snickers bar to a cop.
Some tone deaf bullshit like that again.
She has a Snickers bar to like the guy holding zip ties.
Yeah. The Buffalo guy. Oh,
With a fucking
Christ.
police baton just beating the fuck out of somebody.
The Buffalo guy. If he doesn't go to federal prison,
And then he turns back into Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
You're not yourself
With the
when
hat
you're
and everything.
hungry.
Bruce Springsteen pulls up drunk as shit in a Jeep.
It's like, yeah, man, you got to go back in the woods and get drunk, dude. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah, you gotta go get back and get hammered in the woods.
So this lady's on tape being like, with the phone in her hand
her
in
tape.
the Capitol, being like, I'm here. Here is why we did this. She later went on to claim that Antifa actually caused the crowd to storm the Capitol, which means that, like, if that's true, that means that you guys are idiots for being led by the nose.
Was she drugged by those
you fell
Antifa
for it.
sluts that the My Pillow guy was talking about?
Oh, we gonna get to My Pillow guy in just a second.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
But this is the fun part. Yesterday, she asked a judge's permission to travel to Mexico for a quote-unquote bonding retreat with employees of her flower shop. In a court motion filed Monday, Cudd's lawyer said that she had prepaid a weekend retreat for herself and her employees in Riviera Maya, Mexico from February 18th to 21st. Quote, this is a work-related bonding retreat for employees and their spouses, the motion states. So she's trying to get a motion to leave the country. I don't think that's going to work.
For
For a
something completely
work-related
necessary.
couples retreat?
Yeah, something necessary.
Employee bonding.
But she said it's for their employees and their
And their spouses.
Why
yeah.
can't they do
Which
that in
means
the
that
country?
if you're having a bonding exercise for your employees and their spouses, that's a couples retreat. That's not
true.
a work
Yeah.
thing.
And it's also, you can do that here. You don't have to go to Mexico to do that. That's what the judge is going to tell you.
Yeah. Right in your backyard.
It's not important, like where you do that at.
That
Next
sounds
up,
like an orgy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or
Man,
a-
could
or
you
a-
imagine how much that
I got a
fucking-
work thing with my employees and their spouses. It's a bonding exercise. Wink.
they made a movie about it with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it's really good. And they have that poster up at the Hollywood Hotel.
Hollywood Hotel. Yes, sir.
Along with like good movies, which is
the
weird.
weirdest collection of posters in
It's
the world.
odd. You should check that out if you haven't. If
Yeah,
you can.
great place to shit. If you were in East Hollywood,
Very
you got to take a
clean.
dump. My God, the
Spotless.
cleanest bathrooms in Hollywood.
Spotless, man.
Next up, Rachel Powell, a 40-year-old mother of 8 from Western Pennsylvania, used to sell cheese and yogurt at a farmer's market and used Facebook mostly to discuss yoga, organic food, and her children's baseball games. But last year, Powell's interests grew to include conspiracy theories about COVID-19 and the results of the presidential election, filtered through such figures as Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and of course, Alex Jones.
That happens. That's an easy path to like transition into. You know?
I've always said that yogurt and cheese is a slippery slope
It's a brain poison.
into
Into-
geopolitical debate.
You may be a fucking terrorist next thing you know.
Well, this is similar to the Buffalo guy because he was also a crunchy hippie guy.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
That's
how
what
you
happened
make
in
that
that
transition.
Netflix documentary, Wild Wild Country, man.
Yeah.
You know, the Bhagwan, those people were doing yoga. Next thing you know, they were poisoning towns and trying to take over the politics.
Make no mistake, though, you do have to be dumb to
Please,
just make that fucking
if
quick of a
If
transition.
there's someone listening that does Photoshop, I would love Trump as the Bhagwan. If you can make that happen, please. Give me the red robe, put a big beard on him, and then put his hair up in a little ponytail on the top.
And then you got some merch for some new T-shirts.
Yeah. So on December 27th, she posted, quote, I'm unashamedly a super spreader. Attaching photographs of crowded, mask-free holidays and birthday parties. Then she uploaded a video of a large maskless meal during which several children chanted, "No masks, no masks, no masks." And Powell could be heard saying, "The masks are total bullcrap. You guys just need to get out of there and live. Get arrested. It's fine."
It's okay. Get arrested. It's awesome. Jail's not that bad.
Several days later, she posted a distraught 7-minute video shot outside a local gym that had been closed. Quote, "Police need to see that there are people that are citizens that are not afraid of you guys showing up in your masks. We are going to be here banded together, and we're not afraid of you." Video from the Capitol on January 6th showed Powell in a pink hat and sunglasses using a battering ram to smash a window and using a bullhorn to scream, quote, "People should probably coordinate together if you're going to take this building," she called out, leaning through a shattered window and addressing a group of rioters, saying, quote, "We got another window to break."
Oh, my God.
Ringleader.
It wasn't me.
I didn't do it.
That's somebody
Antifa
else.
That's an Antifa deep fake. They have
that's a deep
digitized-
fake.
They've
Exactly.
recorded my face and my voice. They broke into
Antifa-
my house and bugged it.
Antifa's been showing up at the farmer's market pretending to be me and sell an inferior yogurt.
No, that's I don't look. That looks more like Tom Hanks in the Polar Express. Can't you see?
Yeah.
That's not real.
That's not me.
Antifa doesn't know anything about acidophilus. Come on. Next up, Jason Riddle, 32, was arrested by the FBI Monday afternoon. Riddle admitted in an interview with a local NBC affiliate to drinking a bottle of wine that he found in a congressional office.
That'd be that's the one I would get arrested for.
He allegedly also took a quote-unquote big book, like a dictionary, from the office and then sold it outside the Capitol for $40.
Jesus.
Wow.
A picture included in the affidavit showed that it said Senate procedure on the front. The FBI agent who prepared the document confirmed that it came from the office of the Senate parliamentarian. So he just took any big book, and then the funniest part is that he sold it for $40.
Yeah, he must have really needed money.
A little hooch or a little booking, just
$40.
this is a very 1920s vaudeville grand larceny.
Yeah, for sure.
Riddle
He
told
stole the biggest book he could find.
I got the biggest book I could find
and
here.
drank some Chardonnay.
Yeah. What's in the book? I don't know. It's like a dictionary or
Some
something.
But
dictionary.
honestly, the more weird than that is the person who bought that motherfucker.
Yeah, for $40 fucking dollars.
Like, how do you even scalp a book?
Because first of all, it's not. He didn't make as much money as he probably could have. First of all, but the person that bought it paid way too much for it.
Way
too.
too much.
So it's like they're both fucking. It's weird.
Yeah, well, and the
You're
person
about to go to jail for receiving stolen government.
Government.
Right.
That's Fed
That's
time.
a felony.
yeah, extremely knowingly too. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't know.
That's
Because you definitely didn't buy that at a Circle K
Right.
yeah,
somewhere
you-
in Maryland. Like, you bought that right. You were at the Capitol.
Yeah, you were
yeah.
there. Some
That's
maniac with a wine glass sold it to you.
for $40.
Sometime later, Riddle deleted photos, videos, and messages from his trip to Washington in what he called a quote-unquote delete frenzy, according to the document. But investigators found on his phone images that he'd taken from inside the Capitol. He forgot about the recently deleted folder.
Wow.
Oh God.
What's wrong with you? How do you not know about this folder?
I really
Yeah,
like that
that's
he's
the
enough of a
second,
redneck
like,
to
if-
storm the Capitol, but he's still enough of a gentleman to look for a topper to pull the cork out and get a wine glass and not just break it over a desk and drink out of the broken bottle like some animal.
Well, that's the thing is the bottle, it said it was open already, which is even grosser because it's like,
Yeah.
dude, how long is that open
It's
wine
like,
bottle?
What year is this?
Right. It was probably open for Christmas 2019.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
Or our senators and our congresspeople,
Oh, yeah, you
well,
know they're
true.
fucking
complete
you know that's what
alcoholics,
it
and
is.
somebody decided to let that thing breathe
That's
Yeah.
true.
before they went in and certified the election results.
Also, the recently deleted folder, that's like when you're urgently trying to get something off of your fucking computer, that's the second step you take, like, for sure.
Yeah. Check that
Remove
iCloud.
it.
Get rid of the iCloud. Get rid of the recently deleted.
As soon as recycle bin still.
Here's another one. An arrest warrant was issued Saturday for Stephen Maury Baker in the District Court for the District of Columbia. Baker was subsequently arrested Monday in the Eastern District of North Carolina. Baker, a former music teacher and DC-based gig musician, allegedly live-streamed his participation in the Capitol riot under the pseudonym Stephen Ignoramus.
Yeah. That sounds like a
How
stardom.
inconspicuous.
Well, I was just thinking, like, it just means that he has lost that Cracker Barrel peg game so
Yeah.
many times.
That seems like the name of a comic you'd see on the wall at the Stardome.
Yes,
you know? Like
yes,
Stephen
it's a road
Ignorant.
dog.
Yeah.
That totally, yeah.
Like
yeah.
somebody hot enough in the early 80s to get on the
Right.
wall, but not hot enough for you to ever have known who
Yeah.
the fuck that is.
He's just like, I used to open for Jeff Foxworthy in the day, man. He won't fucking call me anymore. But I
He's
still
wearing
like
like the Robin Williams rainbow suspenders and one of those 6-foot giant clown bow
Yeah,
ties.
he's featuring for James Gregory still.
Stephen Ignoramus.
That's James Gregory's
Hey, James
opener.
Gregory fills theater. Stephen Ignoramus is drunk and doesn't do comedy anymore because you can't say what you want anymore.
You can't. He's fucking one of these QAnon dipshits now.
Yeah, exactly. He's
His
the
That's him. It's him.
catchphrase was like, well,
It's
I
this
guess I
guy.
just don't know nothing, huh?
He's this guy actually. That's why I used the name.
one of the witnesses interviewed by the FBI reportedly said that they had known Baker for 10 years and he had grown alarmed at the content that he had been streaming, which was described as quote-unquote conspiracy theories and mockery of minority groups. So
They're just like it's a shame because like it's a real big difference from what he used to post, which was his stand up from the 80s.
if you go back 4 years in his Facebook, I guarantee you it's all about cheese and yogurt.
yeah.
There's a fucking parallel here. Follow the paper trail, man.
So those are the quick hits, but this is what I really wanted to get to, and this is from the New York Times. For $150, Brad Holiday's customers could purchase and download a package of dating tips and tricks that he called his quote-unquote attraction accelerator.
Ooh.
The batch of files featured advice from Mr. Holiday, a self-styled Manhattan dating coach, about things like the best facial serums, pickup lines, and his thoughts on the viciousness of the opposite sex.
Well, that's definitely gonna be in there.
But tucked between videos denigrating women and reviews of hype-boosting shoes,
It's the guy from fucking Complex, the sneaker guy.
he's talking about
Joe LaPoo.
Yeah.
like this fucking article. There's just so many little, like, you know, you'll get to a sentence, you're like, okay, that's not that interesting, and then you hit a phrase like height-boosting shoes. You're like, I'm back in, baby.
He's
I'm
a
back
fucking
in.
hot beast, man.
A height beast.
A height beast. I'm not short. I'm a height beast.
Yeah. He's one of those.
Got a lot of energy packed into a small.
I'm just all into whatever makes you taller, you know.
I said hop beast, but yeah.
So in between height boosting shoes, there were also guides about how to defeat communism and expose what he claimed were government pedophilia cabals and how to properly wield a Glock 9mm. On January 20th, agents arrested the man whose real name is Samuel Fisher outside of his apartment in the Upper West Side in connection for his involvement in the January 6th on the attack on the Capitol. Stashed in his Chevrolet Tahoe parked on East 88th Street, investigators found a shotgun, multiple machetes, and more than 1,000 rounds of
He
ammunition.
needs more than one machete in case it dulls, you know.
You can't. I mean, it's pretty hard to wield a shotgun and multiple machetes.
He thinks, but
Was he
thinks
just a gay incel trying to create an army of hot male assassins who do nothing but kill ladies?
This guy is so dumb. This guy's so dumb that he thinks that machetes, the way machetes work, is once you use it 4 or 5 times, it's like in The Last of Us or something where you like can't use
It's
it
dull
anymore.
now.
So he carries 5 of them in case that happens.
That is such a weird like segue into getting ladies. It's like all women are bitches. And they're shit, and they're worthless, and they're stupid, and socialism is
Yeah.
going to be the downfall of America. Anyway, you want to go to Sephora. They've got this cream.
That's the thing. All these
Give me my
people.
platform shoes. I'm going out.
It's insane. It's like it is like all these people. It's like it'll be. You never know. They just do this really crazy 180 into fucking QAnon militia guy. All
Well,
of a
the
sudden.
You
thing
need
that-
clear skin if you want to attract a woman. You need to be at
And
least
raise the
6
cap.
feet tall
Yeah.
if you want to attract a woman. Then you bind her hands and you gut that bitch with a machete.
Yeah, exactly.
2 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna need 2 because it doles.
You want to
after
bring
2
her back
cuts.
up because once you get the torso all torn apart, that thing's worthless.
Yeah,
know,
once you hit bone, man, it's
You know the
done.
character Baraka in Mortal Kombat. You're going to want to learn how to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that
exactly.
with the 2 knives.
Exactly.
So this is something he wrote on the website. Quote, Tomorrow, Trump and we the people will be betrayed again by every so-called representative who said they'd fight for us. So that's what he was writing on bradholiday.com before the riot.
Very misleading name for that.
Very misleading.
So in a photograph posted to one of Mr. Fisher's Facebook pages and sent to the FBI by an unnamed informant, Mr. Fisher poses grinning before a Trump flag with a pistol in his hand, a rifle, and a shotgun behind him. Quote, "Can't wait to bring a liberal back to this freedom palace," the caption reads.
I'm gonna torture him, baby. Imagine waking up in that place.
So scary, dude.
How do you I don't give a fuck what you do with your time, man. I really don't.
The last time we were here, Rod, me and Nick came up with an idea for basically it's a remake of The Shining, but instead of getting possessed by the hotel, Dad gets possessed by QAnon.
Yeah. So it's just this guy slow declining to being a QAnon weirdo, and it's basically The Shining, but that
All work and no play makes Jack a proud boy, et cetera, et cetera.
And it's set during the beginning of quarantine, so like they're all inside. He's off work. His whole family's off work. His kids are away from school.
That seems to be what it is. Like the uniting thing between all of these people is money and alone and free time.
Yeah.
That's
divorce.
a deadly combo.
It is.
Recently
It is the
divorced.
catalyst.
Yeah,
Recently
alone. Yeah,
alone.
You're
yeah.
left to your own devices. You've got disposable income and a shitload of free time.
Exactly.
It's not going to be good for anybody. Sitting
Whatever
before.
happened to hobbies, man?
I know.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone have hobbies? That does seem to be a big thing during all of this. Is people?
Oh, that is a hobby. What are you talking about? That's a good one.
There's so many model trains and books.
That's a hobby though.
Or you
That's-
can do what I.
so much masturbating and video games to get into.
But dude, who's gonna write the manifestos?
like, how do you get into that? Like, what about
Who's gonna write the
what
manifestos and
about your
collect?
free time
Who's gonna collect weapons?
makes you
and-
think like this is what's enjoyable? Like, I've got a bunch of time on my hands. Should I go hunting? No, I should break out the whole laptop.
Yeah.
and just get into the deepest, darkest parts of the way
It's
up
a
with
hobby,
politics.
dude. It's riding and weapon collecting.
It's insane.
Sitting before a backdrop of a Trump flag in one of his most recent videos about a week after the riot, Mr. Fisher veers wildly from railing against the left to assailing women. Quote, "Is Satanism a good thing? Should we conjure demons to get our goals met like the left does?
Antifa definitely does that.
Are women trustworthy in 2020? You tell me. I'll tell you no."
It's like, okay, dude, just because you went on a Tinder date with a girl that said she was an Antifa and said she's a witch doesn't mean that they're all fucking
That's
Satan.
true.
Like,
He's dating in New York City. Like,
yeah,
what?
it doesn't mean they're all fucking conjuring Satan to fucking get their goals met.
And everything I know about Satanism is not that.
No, not at all.
Like, Satanism is not.
It's pretty harmless.
It's like Satanism is basically atheism with the deity attached to it. Like, it's not about worshiping Satan
It's seriously
or
harmless.
conjuring demons.
Right.
It's about how you can make these things happen yourself. You don't need to depend on a god.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
harmless.
Just do it yourself. And they just use Satan to poke fun at people. It's
Yeah.
ironic. It's not real.
In 2017, Vince Kelvin, a well-known pickup artist, invited the man that he knew as Brad Holiday to speak at his dating symposium in Manhattan. But after hearing Mr. Fisher's beliefs, Mr. Kelvin said that he swiftly terminated the relationship.
Yeah, probably.
So even the biggest dickhead in New York City was like,
too much,
little
man.
sus, bro. Quote, "My experience was right away, what is this guy talking about?"
Yeah.
Mr. Fisher's online files are filled with dubious practices, including tutorials on how to rejoin online dating sites after being banned for harassment, something he says that he has experienced personally on many occasions, and a website that he appears to have created solely to feature screenshots of nasty text exchanges with women.
Yeah, but women are the problem.
No, but he's got
Not him.
Yeah, he's got whole websites of just him failing. It's like,
Yeah.
check out, this is my gallery of failure.
And then him trying to convince you that the problem is women, not him.
right. Not the guy the weirdo who created a
Instigates it.
website to be
Well,
like,
I mean, that kind of goes, posting all his failures like that kind of goes into what they say about teaching. They say those who can do get women.
Yeah.
And those who can't teach you how to get women.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Fucking nailed it.
It's like, listen, man, I've completely failed at every woman I've tried to get at, so I know
Yeah, there you
all
go.
the things you need to do.
Yeah. Here's
to get them.
And here's a page of what you shouldn't do. It's me harassing women.
That's it. See, you're looking at this too logically. You're looking at this from a smart and intelligent place and thinking if he's teaching guys how to get women, it must mean he has thousands upon thousands. No. It's
Not
the
a one.
old adage, those who can do, those who can't teach.
There you
He's
go.
there to teach you. It's teachable moments.
It is.
I have failed. So just look at these videos and then do the opposite of everything I show and tell you to do, and you'll be fine.
It's like I could save my money and just not harass women, and that would work. So don't harass women? Okay.
Mr. Fisher grew up in New Jersey and told people that he was estranged from his family. The divide grew sharper, according to one friend, as Mr. Fisher began to burrow deeply into the online conspiracy theory movement known as QAnon.
Yep.
He was born Jewish, but in videos he has since said that he has turned to Christ, and he shared anti-Semitic articles and videos accusing Jews of cannibalism. So
Never heard that one.
that's wow.
That's a new
It's
one.
always the damn Jews.
Yeah, that's the new one. They do everything that is evil.
I said this last week. It makes conspiracy theories boring. Where are the aliens, please?
The
Yeah,
Jews
need
are
that.
the navy blue blazer
yeah.
of conspiracy theories. Like, they go with everything.
They do.
It doesn't matter what it is. Pedophilia,
Brown shoes.
Politics.
Pedophilia at the top of the list.
Brown shoes with lifts.
like politics, money schemes, cannibalism, rape, murder,
anything bad?
incest. It can always, it's like
matches.
6 degrees of anti-Semitism.
It matches.
It can always come back to the Star of David. It doesn't matter what it is.
It matches
That's the
everything.
Kevin Bacon of religions.
It goes with everything, man.
It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Like somehow the Jews control the media. They control all the banks. Also, they're responsible for getting Joe Biden elected.
They make the
and
shield.
they make women not suck your
They
dick.
make the sky shield to where we can't see Jesus.
They're the Richard kind of conspiracy theories. It goes with everything.
You know why you haven't had a blowjob since 1996? The juice.
I mean, obviously.
About 3 years ago, Mr. Fisher posted online about his rage at being cheated on by a woman with whom he has a child.
Was she Jewish?
No, but there is a connection. That's your ass, there is.
According to people with knowledge of the post, he told friends that he wished he could see more of his young daughter who lived with his mother in New Jersey. So again, it's more like child custody shit. Like,
Yeah, it's always gonna like.
So
they're
we
gonna
can
have-
let's add that. To, that's what's next to Jews.
Yeah,
like the false flag is the Jews, but realistically, it's a
family court.
divorce.
It's- yeah.
Family court.
It's always that. Like that. It rots their fucking brain.
Around this time, his dating tips began to spiral into aggression, and his musings began to drift toward conspiracy theories. Around the election, Mr. Fisher headed to Baldwinsville, New York, just northwest of Syracuse, where he took up residence on a former client's couch, according to someone with knowledge of the situation. But the relationship became strained.
God.
When packages began arriving. First, a tactical vest, and then 2 machetes.
He's like, dude, you can stay here rent free for a little while, but you got to stop ordering shit that's gonna get me put on a fucking list.
What's funny about this is this happened to me, but the opposite. A guy whose couch I was staying on kept coming home from Chinatown on 2 nights with 2 different samurai swords. And that is when I knew I had to leave San
You
Francisco.
gotta leave.
This was a bit I did in my fucking act when stand-up was still a thing, and it's a fucking true thing that happened. I woke up one night, the guy whose couch I was crashing on was fucking doing like ninja maneuvers just in the middle, like 2 o'clock in the morning,
gotta leave.
shit-faced,
Bye.
with an $11 samurai sword that he got in Chinatown. And I was like, wow, you got a sword. Wow, it's crazy.
Nope.
And then 24 hours later, same thing, asleep on a couch, different sword.
Was he black?
Man.
Huh?
Was he black?
No.
There's only two types of people who are American who keep samurai swords, and only one of them is trustworthy. Black dude with a samurai sword is an uber geek who's obsessed with Japanese culture. Let him have all the swords.
See,
he wants.
Ghost Dog.
Shout out to Jerome. I worked with that guy at
If
Hungry
a
Howie's.
white man gets a samurai sword, fucking run.
Unless you're Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction. That's the only time that's ever been good.
See,
It's about to go bad.
see Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai. If you want to see the example of the cool guy. Even though he's a hitman, he's just a geek that likes,
You cannot.
He's a big fan of the culture.
One of my best friends, man. My boy Adam.
Yeah.
Black nerd.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said,
Ninja Stars.
See the
loves
Wu-Tang
Japan.
Clan. They love that shit.
Shout out to my manager at Hungry Howie's, Sharon. That dude moved to Japan. He loves the shit so much.
White dude with a samurai
Yeah,
sword?
no bueno.
It's about to get
They're,
dangerous.
They're on some. He's probably a QAnon guy.
Because I've never seen a black dude who owns that type of stuff wielding it.
No.
But you don't want to be sitting there. You don't want to get up out of a slumber at 3 o'clock in the morning to go get some chips and a soda real quick out of the fucking kitchen.
Slicing
And
the
your
air with a
roommate's
fucking-
just standing there in silence, just
That was
what the hell?
That was when I knew I was like, I got to get out of Berkeley. I got to like like I said, I've done this as a bit, but it's not a bit. It really happened. He looked at me and I was like, is that a different? I said, I was like, is that a new samurai sword? And he literally said, yeah, the other one's for you, dude, in case we need to defend the house.
Oh, you
And
didn't
I was
say?
like, we live in Berkeley.
I mean, like, cool, dude. I'm fucking
I was
down.
like,
That is
I
terrifying.
was like, unless the fucking bluegrass jazz fusion band that lives downstairs decides to get ornery, I think
you
we're
gotta watch
fine.
them though.
Yeah.
that is terrifying.
His defense, you gotta watch them.
The last crime that happened in Berkeley was Patty Hearst got kidnapped. I think. That's it. That's the only crime that's ever happened.
And I don't think
That's
that
it.
required a samurai sword.
Yeah, no, you couldn't have stopped the SLA with samurais.
That is so scary. I would have left right then. I'd have been homeless until I found another place.
I'd rather be.
before
yeah.
I went back to sleep in that motherfucker.
Exactly.
That is wild.
I really was like, are we about to duel?
right.
We gotta-
that one's for you. Excuse me?
Yeah, that's all we had to
You've
say.
seen Kill Bill, right? That first one with Vivica Fox. We're about to do that in the kitchen.
That's it.
That is so scary. Yeah, go for it, man.
After his arrest, agents left behind a document detailing what was seized from his Chevy. According to reports, among the clips of bullets and the 2 tactical vests and 2 machetes. I like that they mentioned those machetes 3 times in this article.
It's a very important part of it.
I mean, it is hilarious
Yeah.
because everybody theoretically knows a guy that has machetes on him.
it
and
implies what the fucking guy's
they're
like.
either a surveyor and they need that
Yeah.
to go hacking through the woods, or they're
2
weird.
swanks.
And Mr. Fisher brought some of these items, including a firearm, with him to Washington, D.C. Quote, and if it kicks off, he wrote on his Facebook that day, according to court records, I got a vest and my rifle. Which,
And they have a lot more than you fucking have.
well,
so.
not at the Capitol, as it turns out. They've got Barney Fife being like, where's my bullet? That was all they had that day.
It turns out. That's-
So anyway, that's shout out to the New York Times. That is, we need more of that because that's hilarious. Like that, just that one little detail of the man was trying to hawk height enhancing shoes. It tells you everything you need to know about these
He's
people.
a
I
short
imagine
king.
it's those lift trainers that they used to have in East Bay magazines.
Oh yeah.
That Kramer was selling on
Like gave you-
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
they help
yeah.
you
They give you a better butt or something?
They lift you vertical.
This dude.
They have like the heel and there's nothing in the back, but a huge like plate in the front of them, and you're supposed to train on them, and they'll give you like an extra 6 inches on your vertical.
He probably had some of those. He's a short king. He's tried everything. I can't look my actual height.
Height enhancing shoes. Like you're just selling lifts, my man. Like don't sex it up for me. You're just selling lifts. Just say you're selling lifts.
Oh fuck.
That's a short king.
He's just selling he's just telling everybody to get Doc Martens and a couple machetes.
Yeah. You'll be good. That's all you need.
Before we get out of here, I mean, this is we got to mention the goddamn My Pillow guy.
Yes, we
'cause
fucking
he
do,
keeps
man.
doing again. I don't like these people. I don't want to keep covering these people, but if they would stop doing funny things, I'll stop talking about
He's
them.
not gonna.
No,
First of all,
I mean,
Ever.
he's never. His life's a fucking
He's
nightmare.
never gonna be the same.
He's the funniest man that we have right now.
His life is just
As long as
tripping
there's
over
not
himself.
stand-up comedy happening, he is our funniest comedian.
We thought it was Kanye, but this guy's gonna be our Howard Hughes.
I want to know how many actual.
Oh, God forbid this guy and Kanye ever meet. We need to.
boy,
He's gonna be
that's
our
a
Howard
bad-
Hughes,
We
man.
need to keep, as the Offspring said, we need to keep
David
them
Hogg
separated.
and one of his partners from the school shooting. They're starting. They just tweeted out yesterday that they're starting a pillow company
I saw
called
that.
Good Pillow.
Yeah.
So they're just about to lose his pillow empire, and he's about to just take all the money he's got.
Yeah, this
Go out to Kanye's ranch.
Let's figure something out, bro. Okay, that's gonna be the day that like Kanye's already on thin ice with me after that last album.
Oh, yeah. The gospel album?
Yeah, I might have to quit him for sure if him and the My Pillow guy collaborate.
Dude, I don't want Kanye anywhere near.
I don't
My
either,
Pillow
man.
guy.
I can't.
I still love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy too much.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to.
Can't.
It's gonna have to go on the shelf after that.
Well, so what's been happening? I mean, even since we last talked, there's just been this big crackdown on social media. Mike Lindell and By Pillow both got kicked off Twitter.
That's a shame.
Banned forever. Which again, I feel
Bill Cosby's still on. Post every day.
Far from finished. Some might say.
Far from He's definitely far from finished. He's posting like he's not, and just complete deep shit.
What an amazing final album title for that man.
Far from finished.
Far from finished.
Yeah.
Because like his poster, like they never have anything to do with like what's going on in the zeitgeist on the outside world or the prison world. It's just always like great sunshine we got going.
Yeah, I know.
Today.
It's like you
always remember to keep a smile on your face, Bill Cosby.
What prison are you in, bro? They got.
Like, did you get house arrested? We didn't hear about it.
Yeah, sounds like
you
it,
seem
man.
a little upbeat, my man.
But yeah, the real meat with that's in the comment section, obviously, because he's not getting any love on there.
So, what's been happening also, in addition to that, is because all these guys, the unifying culprit of all these conspiracy theories, and this is where you get into a bad territory, as Alex Jones found out, when you start getting real specific about who done it, that makes an actionable claim. And so all of the voting systems like Dominion and Democracy Wow! Or whatever the fuck they're called have started basically suing these, news networks like Newsmax and OANN or whatever the fucking weird one is. So Newsmax had Mike Lindell because he was going to drop this supposedly 3-hour-long documentary, which only ended up being 2. And it's a shame because we found out that Mike Lindell, he is a Chuck D in search of a Flava Flav. He has no hype man. He needs another person.
Hey.
He's the guy with the stone cold information.
Me.
But he needs a guy to do 911 as a joke.
It's
to bring
because
the
he
crowd
is
back.
the hype man. It would be like if Spliff Star broke away from Busta Rhymes to put out his own album. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
No, man, no.
He's so boring. I tried to listen to it on the way up. I wasn't going to watch it, but I was like, I could put it on in the background while I drive up here.
Yeah.
I lasted like 15 minutes because it was just too boring. It was like your uncle pulling up YouTube clips and being like, look at this. Look what this
God.
says. And you're like, the name of the thing is Absolute Truth. It's like, you got to have some
validity to
pizzazz,
this,
something. But he went on Newsmax to promote this thing, and Newsmax has already, I think they actually got sued, and I don't know if they settled or what happened, but basically Dominion, the voting machine people, were like, tried to sue them, basically.
Oh my
so
God.
now Newsmax is like, we don't even know this guy.
They kicked him off.
That interview was so awesome because he's on there talking and he's like, well, the voting machines. And as soon as he said machines, they were like, oh, actionable.
Stop.
And so they just start talking over him and reading the disclaimer while he's talking simultaneously. So he's just like, oh, the voting machines there are all, they're cheating at Trump. And the guy's just like, Newsmax is not responsible. And they are talking over each other.
So don't listen. This isn't.
Mike Lindell is talking the entire time while this guy is talking over him, and then the second there is a moment of silence, Mike just goes, "What?"
Hi.
And it's so fucking.
Did you? Anyway, I think somebody was talking over me. I'm going to say that again.
And then halfway through
From the
it-
top.
halfway through
Start
it,
that one again.
there's a male anchor and a female anchor, and halfway through it, the male anchor just gets out of his chair and leaves
Yeah,
because he's
just
like, I
walk out
can't
on
be in
him.
the shot when this goes to court.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to get sued for
This
this.
is going to court, and I don't want to be in this video. So
I don't
he
have
just
time to
leaves.
fucking go to court.
But yeah, so he puts this documentary up on YouTube. It's been pulled from YouTube.
Of course.
You now have to get it at michaeljlindell.com. I think that's the only place you can watch it.
It's
But
going to eventually just be his laptop's the only place you can fucking watch it.
but they did air it on OAN, but he had to pay for the time. The way that he pays for MyPillow infomercials, so he had to buy 2.5 hours, and then they ran a disclaimer that took 3 full minutes to read.
Oh my God.
Where they were like, we don't know this guy. He paid for the time. These are not our views. These are his views. And that disclaimer went viral.
Oh my God.
The video did not do shit. But the disclaimer, everybody on Twitter was like, oh, that's
is
funny.
hilarious.
That's so funny that they...
You know you're fucked when your own propaganda machine is like, hey, we're not associated with this cat.
This is even.
These are his views, and our take on it is this bullshit.
is
Anyway,
even too loud.
roll them.
Yeah.
He cut the check, so we'll show it. But we
Yeah.
just want you to know,
No
we
refund
here
either.
think this is all bullshit. We know for a fact it's bullshit. You should think it's bullshit, but the check cleared. We're pressing play.
Yeah. We're no refunds for this guy.
Well, yeah, that's the update from Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy.
Just constantly stepping on rakes.
He
man.
stepped on a rake because it's again he was claiming that he was like I what did he say? He was like I put in 4 20-hour days, and I'm not accusing him of anything, but a former crackhead being like I was able to stay up for 4 days, 20 hours each is like a little. You're like, oh, okay,
That's all much.
That's what this all is. It's just a relapse.
I hope to get to interview him one day, because the first question I will absolutely ask is, I want to know, have you ever, for real, stepped on a fucking banana peel? Or actually stepped on a rake and hit yourself in the face, and how many times has this
Were
happened?
you ever at any point in the car when Toonces the driving cat was driving?
Right.
This
I
is
wanna-
a classic situation of this is suicide, my man.
Yeah.
And he was doing good, making millions upon millions with his little pillows. Dude. They decided to just throw his lot in with Trump's conspiracy bullshit, and now he's about to lose it all for no apparent good reason.
I said this last time, I'm pretty sure, but how he's gonna die is for sure gonna be a fucking piano falls on him. It's gonna be some cartoonish like fucking bullshit that kills him.
He was moving out of his mansion into a 1-bedroom apartment, and his bedroom safe fell out of the window on his head.
An anvil fucking fell on his head.
The safe was too big to move downstairs. They went out of the window, and it fell and crushed his car.
I don't know if she said this first, but it's the first place I heard it. I will paraphrase, maybe quote Monica Scott here. Fight the urge to weigh in at all costs, particularly if shit's going pretty good for you.
Don't
Fight
do
the
it.
urge to weigh in. Like,
I'll tell you this, man.
Damn sword like this, man. Like
your own double machetes.
Like just taking them out and followed on them, and like nobody asked you to take up arms at all. You just volunteering to kill yourself.
I think everybody should take Monica's advice, because she's typically right about shit like that.
Yeah.
As far as embarrassing yourself on the internet, she she knows how to not do that. You know what I mean?
She runs social media.
She knows what she's talking
for companies
about.
and shit. Yeah,
she
fight
knows,
the urge to weigh in.
She knows what she's talking about with that shit.
Just take your money and shut up.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, Christ. Well, fellas, this has been tremendous. As always, we'll go around clockwise. Nick, please tell people where they can find you on the internet.
At One Dumb Boy on Twitter, at Noctimus on Instagram, and I have a Vimeo page, vimeo.com/NickThomas034.
Hey, you got a custom URL.
I got a custom URL.
My boy.
I do.
Look
Not
at
on
ya.
YouTube yet, but just, I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, man. You didn't get a link tree. Do you got a link tree?
No, I'm going to get one of
That's
those.
the
and
gimmick right there,
I'm just going to
my
do that, and then, yeah.
Let me do it for you. linktr.ee/onedumboy.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
All your shit right there.
I'll just do that.
Do that. Rod, please tell people where they can find you online.
Twitter and Instagram, Rod for short. That's ROD, the number 4, SHORT. Facebook, Narado Moore, and my podcast, Uncle Rod's Story Corner.
Oh, highly recommend. If you're a fan of this show, check out Carter's episode. I'm on there as well. Lots of stuff to dive you into the wild and exciting world of Narado.
It's time to interview Nick Thomas.
Constantly funny on fucking Twitter.
Oh, yes.
You gotta
Oh,
get
God, yeah.
definite Twitter follow.
Oh man, well, thank y'all so much. I invited our mutual friend, kind of the grand poobah of the Birmingham scene, Mr. Christopher Davis, here today, and he said he couldn't make it today, but he did want to do it, and I'm here at least until the beginning of March, so we'll do this at least one more time before I go. So
Hope to see him next time.
yeah, we'll get a big stupid bunch here. It'll be great.
Oh yeah.
Calling in now from Disgraceland Studios, it's the Crystal Pistol and recent star of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, motherfucking Carter Glascock. What's up, dog?
What's up, man?
Nothing.
Stars a bit of a stretch, but it was nice. It was really nice to be on it. It was really cool. I can't believe that happened,
dude. I told Sam I stayed up all through the new Queen Latifah drama, The Equalizer, just to watch Carter Glascock on the Late Show.
I watched it too. She got like waterboarded in it.
Yeah. 2021 is crazy. It's like, yeah, my friend is on the Colbert Show. Queen Latifah's getting waterboarded. It's out of control.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was cool as shit. For people who weren't watching, I think we retweeted it. I'll retweet it again. Carter did his Ray Liotta impression on the episode of Colbert that followed the Super Bowl. So that was cool as shit.
Oh man, thanks, man. Yeah, that was really cool. It's one of those things where it's hard to believe, but it was really awesome. I'm really grateful to do it. And it was so cool to see it. Like, I didn't know they were going to get actual actual NFL stars to be in it, and that was wild, man.
I was telling my friends, I was like, it's funny because the easy thing for them to do would be to get Ray Liotta. Like,
sure,
it seems like for CBS it would have been easier for them to just get the guy. So it's so fucking cool they found sought you out.
Well, and I'm very cheap.
Well, and the little segment they had right after yours was the concept was famous directors doing the NFL player introductions. And the one they had right after yours was Werner Herzog, and it was kind of a parody of Grizzly Man. And I'm not positive, but I think that was Josh Fadem, who also, who does Werner Herzog in his stand-up. So
man.
They really did comb the fucking LA comedy scene for that piece. So that was cool.
Herzog is one of those that like you gotta have too. That like anyone who does impressions is like, you've got to have like a good Werner Herzog to like what was in college after Grizzly Man came out, me and my friend, it was like between Grizzly Man and Lo and Behold, that documentary he made about the advent of the internet. And so it'd be like, and the monks were all tweeting about the sightings of giant googly bears. And like, I thought it was really funny calling them googly bears. The majestic googly bear consumed the entirety of all the monks. Monks were tweeting. They were texting. The internet flows. Yeah, it's like one of those like. And I'm sure Josh does a better Herzog than me. And then there's like. Like everyone's got to have a Christopher Walken. Everyone's like, wow, hey, like, but everyone does like Kevin Pollak's Christopher Walken. Like everyone does his, Pacino and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'm just glad that I got to be Ray Liotta. That was really nice.
I think I've told this story on the show before, but whatever. I was at an open mic in probably 2013, and a guy just went up there and just cold did Christopher Walken, and everybody was just kind of like, wow, like that's it's almost like humping a stool or something. Just like no context.
No context.
Yeah. And then he just the next
was
one.
it good though?
It was fine. It was absolutely fine. Like and then he did De Niro, and it was the same thing where people were just like, And then somebody yelled out from the crowd, "Make him fuck." And then he just did this thing, and then it started killing. It was like this beautiful turnaround, like because it's one thing to do it in front of an audience.
Like a thing, like it was a thing. At one point, did he have De Niro go, "Are you going to make me come? Are you going to make me come? Don't even." Okay. If you're a little out of order yourself, you're a little disappointing yourself. If you're not going to make me come. Then and then when Christopher Walken comes, he has to go like, "Wow, that's crazy!" Like he does the Kevin Pollak, "Wow, that's crazy!
Wow, it does look like a necklace. Wow."
Now, before I come, I have to ask you a question.
2 mice fell into a cup of cum. I just rewatched that movie, so that one's fresh. Oh my god. But it was one of those magical things because in front of an audience, I think you can probably do those, but at an open mic, people were just kind of like, "Oh, come on, you're doing a Walken impression," and then by the end, people were just fucking howling. Like I can't remember who.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the hell this was. This was at Dangerfields 3, which was just a comedian's living room in a very sketchy part of Westlake, like right on the border of Koreatown. So
it's I think like doing like threading in impressions and stuff into your stand is like there's this great thing. Like I obviously watched impressionists on YouTube and stuff, and like Godfrey, he does this like incredible Steve Harvey and Richard Pryor. He's talking about how you like thread them in, and I mean, like I guess open mics are like you have to look at them. I mean, God, fuck if I know. I mean, it's been like a year plus since I've done one, but like you know, like you kind of like thread it. It's like half working out. You got to look at it like you're working out for comedy. And then you got to like half be like, well, it is still a show, so you should try to make it good.
Right.
But it's like maybe like 50-50 each. I found that was always the best thing for me. And also don't get too drunk before and don't freak yourself out too much.
Yeah, that's definitely a good strategy. By the way, if you hear something ringing in the background, that is a landline telephone.
I was about to say, are you hosting the show from a dentist's office?
And they've got one of those phones that tells you it's like call from, and it tells you the name, but the only people that call this line are like like fake robocalls. So it's just it's like call from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call from Albuquerque, and it'll just do that, and no one answers the phone here, so it just rings and rings. Oh man, but yeah, that was cool as shit. So for people listening, if they haven't watched it, we'll retweet it again at the Goods Pods. People can see people can see our boy doing his thing, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, thanks, man. Yeah, and a bunch of other great impressions too.
Yeah,
maybe one by the great Josh Fadem. Who knows?
I think I'm not 100%. I should have maybe stayed and watched the credits. But I was
that whole bit was funny. I thought the Wes Anderson thing was really funny.
Yeah. The whole thing was very well done, and I did enjoy just the simplicity of the Jurassic Park one of just the guy.
Yeah, Marcus Coon getting eaten off the toilet. That was so funny. But yeah.
Oh man. Well, besides that, what have you been up to this week?
It's weird when because it's like all this stuff happens was obviously like one of the biggest things that ever happened to me.
Right.
And then you just like cushion it with just the least amount you've ever been doing in your life. So, it's like, you're like, this is awesome. And I can't believe this is happening. And then back to like, perhaps I'll put on pants today. And like, it's like, I was like, it's like you're doing the talk show circuit while in retirement. So you're like I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, yeah, I took a walk today. It was really nice. I found a new path, a new trail. It was really nice. There wasn't that many people there, which is good. So don't try to like cancel me or whatever. I was wearing the mask. All right. I had 8 masks on and I took a walk by myself. And, but yeah, no, I mean, just nothing, man.
I forgot to look and read the responses from the Colbert thing. Were there any that stuck out at you?
I have learned from the original tweet to not look at the comments anymore. Because the first time I never had a viral tweet before, so I was like binging on the comments, and like it was nice, but at a point, even when they were nice, it was like so overwhelming, and like I'm like all it did was keep me from taking a shower for like 2 days. So I'm like, I'm just gonna let the comments fall where they may, unless it's like someone I know. Then I'm like, thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, what did you find some good ones?
I just found the one. Most of the people were just like, "Oh, this is great." But I did want to share one because these are fun because they're not even about you. It's just more about how this person is insane. So
good.
This is at MA Piper 24. At Colbert Late Show, why is this hack still on TV? This is a complete organized indoctrination project, and it is stomach churning. CBS should be ashamed. Hashtag I thought they were, Hashtag I thought they were professional. Hashtag shit show. Hashtag garbage. Hashtag really 2021. Hashtag disappointed. Hashtag Colbert. So that's what you get.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that one. I did see that one. It was one of those ones where you have to click. It's like some of these may be offensive.
That's the ones I always go straight to. Yeah.
Yeah. And I clicked it. I love hashtag disappointed. Like that's trending. Like that one has to be the most used hashtag for all last year.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great. I'm clicking on it. Let's see.
What is hashtag disappointed? People forget hashtags are supposed to group a bunch of posts together. So like, what the fuck was hashtag disappointed? That has to be like at least 75% of Twitter is hashtag disappointed.
The most recent one is somebody tweeting at Justin Timberlake, and it just says, "Why? What kind of man are you?" Hashtag jerk. Hashtag be a man. Hashtag I expect better from you. Hashtag disappointed.
Disappointed.
JT, let them down.
I think everyone took a note from Steve-O in the Jackass movie where he was like, it's like when your dad says he's not mad but he's disappointed, and that like hurts so much more, you know. Like I think everyone took that to heart and like, yeah, that does hurt worse. Yeah, I like that this guy I like that this crazy person, not crazy, I didn't mean to be demeaning. This very informed viewer of the Colbert Show picked up the clear political bit that bit had, where it's directors directing player intros. Clearly a call for the overthrow of a two-party system. I mean, it's so clear. It's, like...
yeah, I like that he was like...
he's totally not just drawing conclusions out of thin air. No.
He said that was part of an indoctrination project. I was like, what, to make... athletes
make people watch Martin Scorsese movies
or make athletes seem interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's how they get you.
I seriously think we could make a whole segment out of hashtag disappointed. I've scrolled like 2 thumbs and I've already found some fucking crazy shit, dude. This is at Stop Your Organs. That's their handle.
Stop Your Organs.
Stop Your Organs says, walked around for 2.5 hours today and saw no pigeons. No pigeons! What the fuck? Hashtag disappointed.
That's a good like I'd put it maybe even pre-quarantine New Yorker. Just a good pigeon person, had a whole loaf of bread with me. Ended up having disappointedly eating the whole loaf of bread on the way home. Which is, it's too many carbs. It's too many carbs. I'll say it. I'm hashtag disappointed.
Yeah, you gotta love like the crazy bird guy who's just got theories. He's like, "There's no pigeons. I didn't see any. I usually see a bunch. There must be something going on with the birds."
I blame Hillary Clinton. Like what?
What? This one just says, "Where are the emojis?" Hashtag disappointed.
Is that in reference to anything or
nope? Just a guy. Just at Vibe Wyatt.
Man, this Vibe is Wyatt.
The names are tremendous.
Someone direct him to the little. It's like you see the button with the smiley face on it. Like that's there they are. You
Damn.
find the poop emoji and the eggplant dick emoji. Have fun with it.
At McDonald's. This is from at Hail to the KOC. At McDonald's, thanks for the cold fries. I bet Wendy's would have given me hot fries. Hashtag disappointed.
So hashtag disappointed, along with like YouTube comment sections, is the new like a complaint box that just gets emptied out at the end of the month that no one reads, but it makes the people feel heard. Half the time with customers being upset, you just have to make them feel heard. So that's all you got to do.
By the way, I've got a story from Nashville here. A Metro Nashville police affidavit says Jerry Cohen, 53, began arguing with his neighbor outside of an apartment complex early Sunday. The neighbor allegedly said something to Cowan because he was not wearing a mask. Cowan then allegedly pulled out a pocket knife and a long blade with a makeshift wooden handle and stabbed the other man once in the arm and again near his chin. The victim escaped into a nearby residence and called police. Investigators wrote that Cowan Cohen retreated into his own home, and responding officers heard a metallic object hitting the back of the door twice. Officers busted down the door and found Cohen holding a metal baseball bat in each hand. So first he has 2 knives, and then he like sticks the guy, and then he goes in his house and he now has 2 bats. They call him Two Weapons Jerry is what they called him.
But he didn't get that nickname from that story. It's from a different thing.
It's a separate incident.
A separate incident. Yeah, that's like a good little mixture of like The Warriors and Prayer of the Roller Boys, which you should check out our Patreon. We talk about that movie.
That's right.
But yeah, it's a street combat. You know what I mean? Like true street combat is done with those kinds of weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is a boss level. This is a boss level when this guy, this insane person breaks into someone's house with 2 bats.
The wording of this is interesting, where it says they stabbed him once in the arm and again near his chin. And I'm like, yeah, we call that either the neck or the face. It's one or the other. What do you mean near his chin?
Near his chin. Well, they know that the chin is the kill point. You know what I mean? Like, so anything around that is neck-esque.
Right.
Like my face is kind of neck-esque. It kind of looks like, it kind of looks like just more of my neck.
He swung the bats towards officers and then ran away, the court document stated. Officers repeatedly told Cohen to drop the bats and then used a stun gun on him multiple times so he could be taken into custody. So again, this is a white guy with 2 baseball bats actively swinging them at the cops, and they somehow found a way to take him into custody without murdering him.
I'll tell you, perhaps all that extra training now paid off, or maybe they've just been able to do this the whole time and they're just selective about murdering people.
Right,
I don't know.
Right. Guy with a cell phone, that obviously, he has to die, but fucking the guy with 2, I mean, they call it a long blade knife. Let's call a spade a spade. A guy with a sword and a knife, and then later 2 baseball bats, and somehow they got him.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, I think it's like you can call in an airstrike with a cell phone, but you can.
That's right.
Yeah, it turns out police can de-escalate stuff without killing people. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. I did find that this was fun in Houston. A bizarre home invasion was caught on surveillance video Saturday morning. It shows a naked man armed with a baseball bat breaking into a house in Spring, Texas. Luckily, nobody was home when it happened, but the video is nonetheless frightening. It seemed, quote, "It seemed pretty surreal, homeowner Scott Feisel said. The gentleman had no clothes on. That was another thing. It seemed like a scene out of a horror movie." Feisel and his family were more than 1,000 miles away in Virginia when the home invasion happened. Authorities said that the nude intruder, who's been identified as Guy Dixon, walked around the family's home and tried to get in the backyard.
Seems like an alias. Guy Cock Dixon.
Yeah, Guy Cock Dixon. More like Dicks Out. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So he got into the backyard and then smashed out the window. And there's a video of this, and we'll put it on our Twitter at The Goods Pod. It is it's exactly as scary as you would think. The biggest lump of mashed potatoes as far as the man goes. Just a fucking bald, like saggy in all the wrong places white guy with no clothes.
I thought you were specifically talking about his dick.
Oh, no. I mean his whole body. Unfortunately they blurred out his his dick for the news broadcast, but the rest of his body, boy, it's not a pretty picture, Not that you want any naked man, as the Terminator teaches us, any naked man, regardless of physical attributes, breaking into your shit is scary, but it's somehow scarier when he's lumpy.
Yeah, there's a very John Wayne Gacy-esque quality to that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because at least with the Terminator, it's like you don't know if this is Terminator 1 or 2. Is he friend or foe? With a lumpy guy, You're like, this man has ill intents.
This man is a man of ill repute. I don't like the angle of this guy's dangle. You know what I'm saying?
Video shows him wandering throughout the home with alarms sounding in the background. That is the freakiest part. Is it's just a guy with a baseball bat, nude, and it's just like where, like the alarms are going off, and he does not give a fuck at all. Video shows him wandering through the home. Feisel said that he had decided to move his family out of state about a month ago. He says that crime in Spring, where he lived, seemed to be getting worse. Quote, just overall, I felt like things were getting closer and closer from a crime perspective, home burglaries, stores, things like that. So it just made us reevaluate our decision to stay in Texas.
Yeah.
So this guy, like, he still owns the house, but he had his Ring on. That's how they, captured it. He had the little security cam, and he's sitting in Virginia just being like, wow, did I make the right decision moving out of Texas? And then all of a sudden, Lumpy McGee comes in through the hole in the wall that he made.
Sometimes life has a way of answering your burning questions for you.
He says, quote, I'm grateful I listened to my gut, and I'm thanking God on a daily basis. There are multiple times during the day where I am doing that. So guy was really, really happy to get out of Texas for some reason. Cause, Cox
Cockwang McDick's out.
Cockwang McDick's out. Yeah, exactly.
He's Irish, as it turns out.
Yeah.
The Mick is Cockwang McDick's. That's a private investigator.
Fuck. I did see there was a funny video again that we'll put up on a Twitter out of Fort Lauderdale. I'll just read the story. A defendant did his best to woo the judge during a bond hearing Thursday. Defendant Demetrius Lewis appeared before Judge Tabitha Blackman. However, just seconds into stepping in front of the camera for his virtual meeting, he starts laying on the moves. Quote, Judge, you are so gorgeous. So gorgeous, Judge. I just have to tell you. Judge, you're gorgeous. That's someone who really thinks that like I don't know what pickle he's gotten himself out of and also how attractive he perceives himself to be to like that it's gotten him out of a sticky situation before. But I'm sure everyone in that courtroom feels like when you're around somebody who's like, you don't know them that well and they're hitting on a friend of yours and you just wish that he would like spontaneously combust. Yes.
Like,
yeah, you have to stop, man. It's not going to work. You have to stop.
Yeah. Like you wish like almost like he would get tased like immediately.
The judge thanked Lewis for his comments before responding, quote, flattery will get you everywhere, Mr. Lewis, but not here. He is facing a charge of attempted burglary of an occupied dwelling, and he's being held on a $5,000 bond. Now, the funny part is, I read the headline, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then I clicked on it. That is the hottest judge I've ever seen. He's not wrong.
Really?
He is not wrong at all. That woman she's gorgeous. So it is... as funny as this is, and it does seem like he's trying to weasel his way out of something, when you actually see the video, you're like, if they just tell you, like, Carter, today you're going to be brought in front of the judge, and you have a certain thing in your head, which is an old white guy with maybe a powdered wig or something.
Right.
And then they put you in front of, like, a really hot lady, then it might be shocking. So I don't entirely blame this man. I kind of understand where he's coming from.
Shocking, perhaps. Would I jizz my pants? No. I would.
No.
I would still be like, please don't send me to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care if it was fucking, Scarlett Johansson was going to, be my trial, was going to be the judge. I would cry and wet myself and be like, please, I don't want to go to jail. Like, I would completely emasculate myself. Like, just like, it's just like talking to an attractive woman anyway. Like, I don't know. Like,
keep it together, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to put on airs or whatever. I mean, if the goddamn, if Sasquatch was my judge, I would still be like, oh, so I didn't mean to. I got talked into it. I'm so sorry. And he'd be like, oh, and he'd be like throwing his shit at people and stuff. And I would cry. I would absolutely cry in public. I try to act and I can't cry, but I would genuinely cry then because I don't want anything bad to happen to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I watched the video, I was taken aback, but I hope that I like to think I could keep my shit together, but it would stop you for a minute because it's a virtual thing. So, it's like you and I are talking on Zoom. It'd be like you're dragged in front of the Zoom camera, and then you look up and you're like, damn.
Would you think for a second that it's like a situation of like the cops being like, we're getting a complaint about the noise. There's not enough of it or something like that. Like, this is a joke. But
It's a virtual conjugal visit. It's like, all right, but you can't actually be in contact with anybody due to COVID, so we're just going to pull up an OnlyFans for you.
yeah, I mean, again, if she was the most striking woman in the world, I would still like be resisting the urge to cry the entire time.
It's almost worse. It's almost worse that it's like a really attractive lady sending you to jail. You're just like, but you're so pretty, and I am so sorry.
She's like, 3 counts of being an uggo. And I'd be like, no. It's crazy that guy got away with saying that and she didn't hold him in contempt. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That shit's annoying enough. I'm sure the shit's annoying enough on the street when people are like, oh, damn, blah, 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 blah. Like, to do it in a court of law, like, I'm sure she would be like, motherfuck you, dude.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Well, Carter, are you ready for our motherfucking jam of the day?
Yes.
Oh, let's go all the way back to 1999. This is a CD that I fucking bought and listened to so many times. This is Lit, Orange County's own, with my own worst enemy.
This is a CD I owned as well.
White CD with the orange rings, like easily identifiable.
And the lady on the pool floaty
on the cover,
the cover. I remember. I think it was not parental advisory, which is why I was able to buy it.
Yeah, they just dropped the one shit in this song, I think, and that's the and also in the song "Miserable," the first line is "You make me
come."
Yeah,
I was gonna bring that up. There's the part where he sings "You make me come," and it was one of those things where in the lyrics it was spelled COME.
Right.
And I thought it was just like in the late 90s, early 2000s vagueness of like post-grunge lyrics where it's like, so far away, you come along so far away in your eyes. Like, it's just like, they're about nothing.
Right, right.
Maybe that was a way of him getting away with saying, you make me jizzy everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in that video is them like crawling around Pamela Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
They're like playing on her shoulder and then they're like on top of her head. I think she eats them at the end or something like that.
I always was wondering if that was a Lit video or a Hardee's commercial. Could be either or.
They were both being produced around that time in the same way, so for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, this is definitely a song I've listened to a bajillion fucking times. And speaking of the pandemic, when the pandemic started, that was one of the things I did was I went back and re-listened to this record and still pretty much know all the words too. I was just listening to it. I was like, it was weird because I was like, this is not that good, but boy, do I know every single fucking riff and every word of all of this.
Yeah. I would probably have a similar experience. Like, I full on acknowledge it's not very good or whatever. It's like the most commodified version of like whatever SoCal pop punk was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's so unremarkable. It's like, yeah, I guess it sucks, but if it comes on in like a Target, I'm not going to be like, this fucking place is out of touch or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, this really is the perfect, like, if you just want to make a movie that conveys instantly that it is 1999. This is probably the best song to do that, or maybe the best rock song. I would say either this or perhaps All the Small Things or What's My Age Again or something like that. Like if you're just going for just like a rock song that you can hear and know, you're like, fucking, it's 1999. Yeah, you kind of can't go wrong with this one.
I'm not even going to look on the internet, but I'm going to guess this is on the Road Trip soundtrack. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. This song is featured in American Reunion, which is the American Pie. I think it's the third one, and so people are going to make reference to that here in just a moment.
Okay.
Well, let's get down to these comments here. Again, this is for Lit, my own worst enemy. First comment, JMCWD from 7 years ago. Alice in Chains just came out with a new album. It's amazing.
That's a burn. That's a low-key burn.
Just a public service announcement that if you're listening to Lit, my own worst enemy, guess what? Alice in Chains has a new album. You should hear it.
I feel like that's a bird. I feel like that it's like someone who's like you like played like something by like I don't know like Shinedown or something, and someone's like, oh, I love Creed. Like you're saying it intentionally to be like all those bands suck.
Vibin' from 2 years ago. Ah, yes, 1999. The Millennium Bugs had scared many people. The Matrix had made a huge impact. And the bitch of Britney Spears was on every radio channel.
God, talk about someone who is like fucking like like as a society, like yeah, talk about someone who is emotionally constipated. It's like we're all past the whole like Britney Spears is crap. Like we just feel bad for her now. Like she's like. You know the amount of like insane intrusion into her life she occurred, and like
she is straight up has like post-traumatic stress from 1999.
That's like someone who hasn't engaged with popular culture in like 20 years because they're like Eminem and Britney Spears is crap.
Also, those are the three cultural signifiers: Y2K, The Matrix, and Britney Spears.
Yeah. When was that comment left?
It was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So 2019, it was a totally different time.
Yeah, different time, yeah. It's funny how accurate and inaccurate that is. But it truly was a completely different time.
Troy Wallet from 4 years ago. And again, this is not a response to anything. This is just a free-floating comment. Meet me in the streets, pussy!
You'd like to know who it's addressed to, but you really, this is something that you just kind of want to see it play out without an opposing viewpoint. I would like to hear this person scream into the ether. So
the year is 2017, and Troy Wallet wants to fight, and he doesn't give a shit who.
Yeah, meet me out in the streets, then, pussy.
This is another one very similar, just free floating, nothing attached to it. Jeremy Robinson 1 year ago. Ha! Ignore me, all right? You won't be able to ignore me when I come down there.
I suppose he's looking at YouTube from the third story of his house.
Don't make me come down there. Where? I don't care.
Yeah, his kids are all over the comment section of My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. And it's well past their bedtime.
So one of the things that made looking for comments on here so annoying was that there were, and I'm not kidding, hundreds of comments that said something along the lines of lit was lit before lit was lit. Meaning that they were using the expression lit before everybody else, because now people are like, dude, it was lit, But they were that before then. Which
people don't even say that anymore. That is like, right. That is completely gone by the wayside.
Right. But also like that expression lit is a shortening of, I think, an earlier expression when you were talking about someone being drunk, you would say they were lit up like a Christmas tree. And it's just a shortening of that. But anyway.
Which is made reference to similar band Buck Cherry.
That's right. But so there was a bunch of those, and they were all stupid. But this one just stuck out because it just seemed like this guy was trying to get in on the act, but he didn't know how.
Yeah.
Steve the Pirate 80 from 1 year ago. These motherfucking nut sacks were lit before lit was a lit.
This is the thing when you can't tell a new joke, just tell an old joke, but throw in motherfucking nutsack, and that'll turn some heads. That'll swing some dicks.
I mean, it worked on me because I was so like, oh god, another lit is lit before lit, and then I found that one and I was like, okay, that's funny.
What would you say if I guess that's in the way where it's like, oh, dude, like these guys are crazy, bro. I'm gonna tell you something right now. These guys over here, my friends are out of their mind. But what if this guy referred to you and your group of friends as these motherfucking nutsacks over here?
Jesse Ariaza from 4 weeks ago. Love it. Jim, Kevin, Oz, Finch and the Stiffmeister walking into the American reunion with style.
Some people watched American Pie and they're like, these are my friends. Not like, these are like your friends. Like, no, these characters are my friends.
Who's your best friend? The Stiffmeister.
The Stiffmeister. Oh, you mean your friend is like Stifler, Sean William Scott's character? No, it is him.
He is him.
He is him, and we are one sentient, horny person.
D.S. Connor from 2 months ago. The lyrics to this song is stupid. Reason? Because he says he didn't mean to say the things he said when he was drunk, but according to human science, the truth comes out when you're drunk. So your true opinions, they've been said. There's no point in apologizing because they were honest with LOL.
You know, I know this is an auditory medium, but I'm pointing at my head right now because, like, see? When you listen to the human science, it really doesn't lie.
Human sciences, as opposed to the kinds that dolphins and giraffes do.
Human science seems like a comeback album from Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
It would be called Human Sciences.
It's David Byrne and Brian Eno, Human Sciences.
Yeah.
Sayin' John from 2 months ago. I'm still pissed that my stepmom wouldn't allow me to have this song on my phone. She's close-minded and ridiculous, man. Just because the song isn't your style, I can't listen to it. Of course, eventually I ended up having it on my phone. I'm much older now anyway, and I can make my own rules, not her. She can't do shit to me now.
You can't hurt me anymore, mommy! I guess a lot of people just can't get over the fact that they don't have to live with their parents' rules anymore. And it's all this misplaced anger of being like, I can listen to Lit whenever I want now. It's like, yes, you can.
Yeah, no one will stop you.
I'm sure Lit appreciates it, but,
Hey, I've said this before on the show. The first thing I did when I moved into a dorm, I was on my own for the first time, was I went and bought a bunch of Capri Suns, and I got a cup full of ice, and I cut the corners off the Capri Suns and made myself a cup full of Capri Sun. No straws. I don't need your straws and pouches. Fuck you, lunchbox.
Yeah, I'm not going to be chained to the tyranny of straws. I won't do it.
This guy, I love this guy. I think this guy smoked a lot of weed. Juan Cardona from 1 year ago. Tried I have electric sleep dart itchy gas and made windows, and I found his little ass in the morning with his clothes folded and shoes on top, wearing reptilian shorts and sandals with a 60-ounce high-gravity hurricane and a jumbo extra-long zigzag honey dip joint in his mouth. Wah!
A honey dip joint. That's downright folksy.
I was going to say, that's like, do people do that? I don't know enough about weed, but I was like, do people put
I've never
joints
heard
in honey?
I mean, I would assume that Sam is the podcast expert on weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you can dip weed in honey. It seems like it would be hard to light.
Yeah, honey doesn't seem conducive to smoking. It just seems like it'd be gross, and it would maybe get on your hands and shit.
Yeah.
Mr. the White Prince from 8 years ago. At 40,
this name, I'm having some weird vibes about this name.
Those vibes will be shortly confirmed.
Oh dear.
At 43 years old, I am an old fart. This song is one of my favorites. Cool rap and hard. Besides, you can understand the lyrics. Makes other rap crap when you don't know what they're saying outside of Eminem, and he too sometimes gets unintelligible. I love that this guy thinks that Lit's My Own Worst Enemy is cool rap.
At what point does he rap in this song?
He doesn't. It's not a rap song at all. It is a rock and roll song.
So he assumes that newer music, all music past like 1985 is rap.
Is rap, yeah. The rap took over the rock. And this is the high water mark, but he likes it because he can understand what they're saying. M. Sadler 111 from 4 years ago. Most alcoholics have to listen to this song and give a sly grin at the times, for we've all been through it, man. The car is where, I did what, and the girlfriend, she's gone. Yeah, sometimes I kick the living shit out of me. Great bit of lyrics there. And after a bit of healing, what do? Man, we go back for another round. Trying again to redefine the phrase, doing the same thing and expecting different results. Great song.
This guy has never drinking in his entire life. He's never had a drop drink. It's like that thing where it's like, man, you know when you get that cool buzz when you light up that first joint and you're like, oh man, the colors. Oh, the colors are coming at me hard, brother. They're coming at me real Marvy on a real groove wave. Oh, the music, man. All I can hear is guitar solos, man. And all the cheeseburgers, they all taste like birthday cake. I'm like, you are a cop. All right, you are a cop.
That guy is a cop.
More clear cop. You are a cop, okay? And you're trying to, and I'm sure it's going to lead to that section that we always get to.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that is a cop. He's like, you know, the best thing about drinking is how cool you feel when you get that first little taste of the buzz.
Mormon?
Brother.
I'm not a Mormon. What are you talking about?
Come on, we get down. Sometimes we stay up till 10:30.
Yeah. Jalen Roberts from 6 years ago. Wow. Is it just me, or can anyone else hear the beeping? Beeping. Can anyone else hear the beeping?
They're really like that.
Just for the record, this video, it's the normal video. There's no beeping. This person is just sitting in their house, and they've been driven insane because they forgot to change the battery on their smoke detector.
And really, the local hospital should be tuned in directly to the pipeline of YouTube comments, because that seems like someone's last thought.
Yeah. You're listening to My Own Worst Enemy complaining about the beeping and the people that live behind the yellow wallpaper.
Does anyone else smell pennies? This song rocks. Does anyone else smell pennies?
You guys all smell that, right? Right? Hello?
Yeah, you guys all smell that, right? You just taste copper. It just tastes like copper.
Dexter Laboratory from 1 week ago.
The official account for Dexter's Laboratory. How cool.
This guy does need to say sorry for the things he says when he's drunk. My friend said he was working at a casino when the lead singer of Lit was at the bar drunk after a concert, and he pointed at him and called him Big Head.
Called him Big Head?
Big Head. And
what's up, old Big Head?
I read that and I was like, dude, I think Lit is cool again. Because that's a hilarious thing to say to someone. Because it's like, hey, man, hey, Big Head, give me another drink.
Hey, yeah, let me get a drink down there for old Big Head.
Because it's like,
and that's just a sourpuss being like, I'm not a big head, I'm a normal size head.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Really normal.
People with big heads know they got big heads. They don't care.
I got a big fucking head. I got a huge fucking head, and it's real stupid, and I can't wear a hat. I get it, though. I get it. And whenever someone's like, you got a big old fucking head, I'm like, it's a normal size head. Doesn't matter. Whatever. You have a tiny little peanut head. Stupid. I mean, I look like anthropomorphized. I look like Super Mario. Like
DK mode on James Bond.
DK mode, absolutely, yeah.
So now I think it's time to take a seat because
your car is in the front yard. Is that where your pants are? You want to have a seat? You want to take a seat?
This is the Chris Hansen jailbait section.
What are you doing here?
Oh, the things you said when you were drunk was you solicited a child on the internet. So you can't actually.
Said, have you ever tried a BJ before? Now, what does that mean? You want to have a seat?
I am a queen from 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Go off.
This was my 7th grade yearbook quarantine song for this year because, oh boy, I was my own worst enemy.
Oh boy. We've all been there.
Oh, 7th grader, you can relate to this. Wow.
I was in 7th grade last year, and, we all know how this was the #1 song among 7th graders due to research.
Also, I like that it was in the yearbook, too. Like, they put in the 7th grade yearbook, like, the song that says, I kicked the living shit out of me.
Yeah, very normal, very not suspect. This is a child writing this.
Molly...
I also got to ask, is the grammar intentionally fucked up on these? Like, is like, are there lacks of periods and punctuation and stuff, or is it, like, perfectly punctuated?
I mean, that one, it's a run-on for sure. They should have a period instead of a comma, but they do attempt punctuation in that one in particular. This next one, there's no punctuation. It's Molly Rodriguez from a year ago. It just says, I'm 12 and I love this Sping.
And the FBI is trying to get more like, now you got to say baby words. Like, I'm 12 and I like Sping. Like, talk with a lisp or something.
Like you was trying to type song, but you fucked up and you didn't give a shit. It's cute.
It's cute, and those perverts will love it. They'll eat it up.
Chrissy Johnson from 5 years ago. I'm 12, and this song scares me. Ghost emoji, ghost emoji, ghost emoji.
I'm scared and all alone. What is getting drunk? I've never tried it. I sure would like to.
Do you think I'd like being drunk?
Oh, don't worry, getting drunk's not so scary, especially when you have a couple of wine coolers. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Arbor Mist? You'll love it.
You'll love Arbor Mist.
Mad Dog 2020. They got a flavor called Bling Bling Berry. You like the Bling Bling, don't you?
That was actually my first drink. Was
Bling Berry?
It was Bling Bling Mad Dog.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, my dad gave me like a sip of beer before all that when I was, but like, but the first time I drank on my own with the intent of getting drunk, I drank a whole fifth of Mad Dog 2020, the blueberry.
Did you vomit it out? And was the vomit blue?
It was. It was an interesting science experiment.
Dude, I had the same shit, a red banana Mad Dog, actually. I can recall the exact...
think you're vomiting blood, right?
Yeah, dude. I can recall the exact night. It was the night that Al Gore hosted SNL and Fish was the musical guest. Because it was right when I was really getting into Fish, and I was like, oh man, the establishment's putting Fish on TV. Crazy. Glug, glug, glug. Vomit, vomit, vomit. Yeah, I didn't even make it to the toilet. I just puked in the shower. It looks like a colorized version of the scene in Psycho. Just the fucking going down the drain.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've participated and seen that happen to so many people.
The last one here in the Chris Hansen section is the Divine Zero from 3 years ago. I'm 14, and mainstream pop music is for losers. I'm brining in the wrong generation.
Brining?
Brining. Like the way, I assume it's a misprint, but like you would brine a turkey. I'm brining in the wrong generation.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to get the buzzword out that, I'm 14, I'm alone, here's my address, I'm brining. I don't know. Again, that was the FBI right before. It's like, look, I've been here all weekend trying to catch these perverts. I just want to go home.
This is the official Marty Walsh YouTube channel from 9 months ago.
Okay.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you even still remember that name, but I'm afraid you have been misinformed. You are not here to receive the gift. Nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have been called here into the labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune, a labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles. For most of you... For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more waiting for you as the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell is open to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. The end, for all of us, in communication.
Wow. That's somewhat... So how poetic for the comment to My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. Like...
How many times has that guy copied and pasted that exact thing across the internet in message boards, Facebook posts? Like that shit is everywhere.
That's for sure what it is. Yeah, he's copied and pasted it everywhere, and he just looks up like what he perceives to be popular songs and does it.
So for these,
you got to get it out there somehow.
So for these last two, these are both strings of comments from the same person. Of two different varieties. One of them is spread out over a pretty long period of time. So what we're talking about is a guy who just keeps coming back to this video and commenting every time. And then we're gonna contrast that with the last comment, which is literally 33 small comments in a row.
Oh dear.
So this second to last one, Todd Campbell from 5 months ago. I'm 50 and should be asleep. Have to be at work in 5 hours.
Yes, you should, Todd. Yes, you should.
Have to be at work in 5 hours. This song is awesome, though. Very cool. Greetings from Kentucky, USA. So that was 5 months ago, and I just saw that, and I was like, oh, whatever. Kept scrolling. And then I noticed he came back, Todd Campbell again from 4 months ago. I'm off work today. I'm lit. Kentucky. And then it's a devil horns emoji. Rock and roll. And then
he thinks that was his last day of work.
You might be right, because Todd Campbell 1 month ago, I'm lit now.
I'm lit. Is what it is. I'm lit.
There's no more work. Not for old Toddy boy.
Oh boy, watching someone's downfall in YouTube comments is truly, it's why we do this segment. It really is. It's to help people.
And finally, this is what I mentioned. This is again 33. I counted comments that I just have pushed together into one. I think thought. I don't know if it's not coherent, but I think this is the general essence of what they're trying to get across. Evil Love from 7 months ago. Hello, honey. Though we are of no relation, I got a Labrador for sale. I got a pizza shop for sale, too, because we don't accept drug payments for pizza. It seems shady to me. Disassembled the pay device, including the cash register, in any of my stores. We don't accept plastic here, and can you please smack Cynthia and her kids? You gotta fight for your right to party. No alcohol allowed. Except mine. Now, is that blood there, not ketchup? The cops aren't going to do anything about it. I let my cousin drag his ass down the road. Road rash. Hey, was that your dad with all them staples in the back of his head? We don't pay to rake leaves around here. They are not paid for. They got threw out the house in Orange Park. They got evicted. He has to ask girls to get his dope. He burned all his connections. What was the name of that arcade Liz and Ben were at? I fucking hate Twilight. I fucking hate research. I hate that minivan.
I hate research.
I hate that minivan. I fucking hate Eastern sports. I fucking hate rice. No.
What?
No, Nikki. Obviously a person caught warts from you. No, I don't know anyone named Christopher. Punch Mary in the face. Thanks, Bill. Wheeler got dismissed from here. Hello, virgins. Ryan and Liz. Virgins. The backseat of Debbie's car in Florida must have been Lola's street. Those two dogs got their cherries popped.
Well, let me tell you, that person lives in a town of about 30 people.
Every person in the town is mentioned in that comment.
Right. When you have that little interaction with people, you try to fit it all in. You gotta be like, that old car don't work good no more. Also, I don't like rice. I don't care for Eastern sports. Also, I will say that weather is best sometimes in the spring. That old tree over there has been there since I was a boy. And they're basically trying to keep you there until you move through the next town, until you're done getting gas in that town. And all you can do is scream at them, I don't care.
Well, it was a pretty good tactic because I just kept scrolling and I was like, what is this person going on and on about? Like, that's how I noticed it, because as I was scrolling, I was just like, oh, this is the same person just leaving 33 comments in a row. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they're just they're trying to keep someone there just to have a face to talk to bitch about God knows what. It's when someone goes, I don't care, when someone's like, okay, thank you, and moves along, they're gonna be like, goddamn city boy don't know shit and shine on, motherfucker. You think you judge me, you piece of shit. Then go back to grumbling. But they really desperately want human interaction.
Yeah, and that one part really does sound like grumbling. I fucking hate Twilight. I fucking hate research.
Twilight, yeah, hot take, jackass. Twilight, yeah, it's for girls.
I like to think he means the actual time of day. It's like, I hate seeing that sun go down in the evening, leaving me in darkness. How dare you, God?
Leaving me in darkness, reminding me of my loneliness. Yeah, I like it when people were all up Twilight's ass, being like, it's the worst. It's like, what do you like, real scary vampire movies? Is that your whole thing? I like Dracula. Dracula's so scary.
I hate research.
And I don't care for jealousy.
Oh, Christ. Well, and that is Lit, My Own Worst Enemy, our jam of the day. Carter, please tell people where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me on Carter_Glascock on Twitter and Instagram. You can go to my website, carterglascock.com, and please listen to my stand-up album called The Crystal Pistol. It's on Radland Records right now, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and you can buy it on iTunes.
And find that the clip. We'll put it on our Twitter at The Goods Pod. Yeah, they posted a clip, so if our listeners respond to that and be like, hey, have him back on the Late Show, so maybe they'll see it.
Yeah,
they'll tag him up and
strength in numbers.
Yeah,
strength in numbers. But thanks everyone who was nice about that too, and thanks everyone who's on this show who's always been very nice to me. I very much appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Well, this was fun, man. We'll do it again next week.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Peace.
Everybody was doing player introductions. There was Victor Cruz.
How you doing? UMass.
Marcus Kuhn. We called him the Steamroller on account of he's from Mannheim.
Guten Tag.
You had Johnny Casillas and his guys.
University of Wisconsin.
Lorenzo Carter, the kid.
UGA.
Then there was Foloranzu Fatakasi, also the kid, on accounts that they was both the kids.
UConn.
And finally, Benny Two Times, who got that nickname because he said everything twice, like
Notre Dame, Notre Dame.
That's going to do it for us this week. Thank y'all so much for listening. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. The best way to support this show is to head on over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Join the Tower of Power if you've not done so already. The second best way to support this show is to take a pause for the cause and head on over to Apple Podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. If you like the show, please tell a friend about us. Show the attitude of gratitude because, as Mr. Goodnight says, if you don't have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, fuck you. See ya next time.